Grata ad Yamcha Sessions, which is welcome back to Yamcha Sessions in Latin. I don't even know whether I nailed that. Who the hell speaks Latin nowadays? On today's podcast, we have the one and only Adila Shakir. A bit of background. I work in events, right? So we also do a lot of ad hoc jobs, which includes like voice recording and everything like that and ad shoots. So that's how I met Adila. I met her like a couple of weeks ago and I thought she would be a fascinating guest to have on the podcast. Because who often talks about voice actors and voice talents? Nobody, because you normally see the video or you see the cartoon. So before I go too deep into the podcast, I would like to thank you patrons on the Patreon page. If you haven't patroned and you are interested, the link is in the description below. You can choose any amount, like $3, $5, $10, $50, whatever, man. Also, we have merch. If you guys didn't watch the previous podcast, we have new t-shirts. Check it. So the back is a design that I drew personally, and the front is our logo, which I also drew, but this one was on Instagram stories and this one wasn't a legit iPad. Check it. So you got 3 designs. One's the cup, one is the tapau ikat tepi drink, and one is the skeptical pasar malam drinks that you purchase. I think it's one for 60, two for 100. So let me know. You just DM us on Instagram at Yamcha Sessions, but with 2 S. It's all in the link in the description below. If you want, interested, comment below, or you can just DM us on Instagram. We'll find a way to make it happen. So I met Adila because of this voiceover work that I did for the United Nations. It was like it's part of MEP lah, so I'm not going to dive too deep into that. And we struck up a conversation with her and her husband, who's also going to be on the guest on the podcast just a couple of weeks from now. We're still hashing out the details. He's a music producer, but he also helped with the voiceover recording. So Adila has been in the industry for about, I think, 7+ years. I'm doing this right after the podcast before I forget everything, which I usually do. So I won't go too deep into the introductories, but I think you guys would find this podcast a sterling conversation. Yeah. If you guys like the video, if you have something to say, comment, and if you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. I hope you guys enjoyed this podcast as much as all of us did. We were laughing our asses off, especially towards the end, because we kind of go from her career and then into the fuck-ups that we have had in our lives and shit like that. It's hilarious lah. Just check it out. Hope you guys enjoy. Oh, what's big love, big kiss in Latin? Shit. Magna caritas, magna oscula.
For real, bro, they stealing my blood, I'm telling you.
I think that's what a lot of hospitals do. They take extra in case something happens.
In case something happens, that in case it's me happening.
You know, it's actually good to give blood because as guys, we never give blood. But girls have their periods to regulate and everything.
Yeah.
But guys, we hold on to our blood for damn long.
Yeah.
Excuse me, you forget the time we fall down and stuff like that. We give our blood as
You
well.
scrape your knee, right?
Really
You lose
blood.
lose like 0.5 ml of blood if you scrape your knee.
Not even.
Which is why cupping is good.
Oh!
The one that you actually...
You like suction out
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Oh,
It's really, 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 really good.
Is it?
Really good. I have a friend who's a doctor. He was a practicing doctor and then he decided to get into cupping, but using with a little bit more technology rather than your typical just burn.
Sure.
You know, that kind of thing. Yeah, so it's practically painless and it feels and it just heals.
You look like
after a while.
like a victim of abuse.
It looks
Yeah.
worse than it actually
is,
is,
yeah.
you know.
Bro.
So, but you can tell, like the first time I did it, the first blood that's drawn out is dark and
Yeah.
almost black.
Okay.
That's the dirty blood line. That's like old blood.
Yeah.
So then, after a couple of rounds, then when you see like a bit more reddish, much more reddish, and it's not as thick, then it's nice and fresh. So it's kind of
Nice and
making nice and
Yeah,
fresh.
a little bit weak talking about this.
So-
You do it on your back as well, right?
the
I know.
back, your legs, or whatever, and especially if you have any aches or
Uh-huh.
pains, like especially muscle pain, and
Yeah.
and sometimes like massages, it doesn't really take the angin out. Sometimes
Yeah.
trapped.
It's deep in. It's
It's
deep.
deep in.
How
The
about-
cupping helps.
How
It
about heart
really-
pain?
Heart pain.
That's the worst,
That one I
Heart pain, I
can
don't
help you
know,
go
bro.
to a
Muscle
counselor.
Okay, let's stop talking about this. I feel like lah, bro, like for real, wait.
Okay. Anyway, what were we going to talk about?
You.
Yeah. Oh wait, so we're live already, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Sejuk.
Yeah.
Wait,
What are we?
Today I
No,
won't.
don't worry, man.
Because
Yeah, man.
I'm-
He
Change
normally
man.
comes sleeveless, which I'm like, why?
I'm done with this aircon mess. It's so cold, every time.
Okay, just let me know if it's too cold.
Now
Is
it's
it
what?
okay?
21. Oh.
No, I just turned it. Okay, I go 24.
okay.
This is
Yeah.
light.
What is it? Is it too cold?
24 is
24 is good. Okay.
Alright, selamat datang kembali ke Yamcha Session.
It's just selamat kembali.
Selamat datang kembali. Hari ni kita hari ni dalam studio
Forget it.
kita.
You know what? Don't bother.
I want to try.
She speaks better English than all of us combined.
Bro, let's try it.
English.
Jom kita cuba berbahas dalam bahasa Melayu, okay?
Tak payah.
Berbahas. Hari ni kita mempunyai satu guest yang amatlah penting sekali, namanya Adila. Sekarang you punya masa.
Adila Shakir, right?
Adila Shakir.
Adila Shakir.
Adila Shakir. Oh baby, you know. Okay, Adila. So sekarang merupakan masa anda untuk memperkenalkan diri anda,
Oh
ya.
my god.
That's pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Are we on RTM or something?
That's a compliment for me. Thank you. Okay, jom pergi.
I don't know how to start, but like I suppose a bit of preface would be good, like how we met.
Yes.
Right. So I was actually tasked by a client of mine to find a voiceover artist.
BM.
No, there's no way I can do that in BM. There's no way. My bahasa is so bad.
Same here.
Yeah.
Give me a script, I'm fine.
Yeah. Actually, you know, I heard her English recordings compared to her BM. Her English one is so good.
Sure.
But the BM, she's like, oh, I'm quite scared lah. But she needs a bit of time with that
Yeah,
thing.
yeah.
Which is funny because the recording we did was in BM.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I was tasked to find a voiceover artist. So I went on voiceguild.com.
How did you find it?
Legit, I just googled it. I'm like, voice artist in Malaysia. Voiceguild.com. Okay, first search is
Wow,
I know.
awesome.
What's Voice Guild?
It's like this website where all the voice artists that are registered with them are displayed there, and then all their previous work is displayed there.
Wow.
What is a voice artist?
Would you want to explain what a voice artist is?
Like,
What does your whole work encompass?
Anything that
Apa tu?
involves voiceover work. So all the ads that you've been hearing on radio, on TV,
So that's you.
animation,
You the chick.
jingles, anything to do,
Cartoons.
documentaries, corporate
that's so cool.
videos, the
Yeah.
voice.
Yes.
You know, so
Like Attenborough in Life on This World, that thing.
what voice over you have done before?
oh my god.
Like
My
something-
mind always goes blank whenever anyone asks me that
Is it?
question because I've done
Upin?
so many.
No lah. Okay, so United Nations is the client that we work
Oh,
on,
UN,
right? So
You can say that?
We can say that
Okay,
now. We can
cool.
say that now.
Right.
I guess because it's already up.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
So United Nations, all she does a lot of like, how do you say, humans rights things, like.
Well, not a lot, but it just
empower
happens to be that
recently.
recent.
Yeah. But I go back to the origin story first. So I went through a lot, and on Voice Guild, right, they have different characteristics of voices. So it's like upbeat, professional, young child, the variations, right? So I just listened one by one until I found hers and a couple others. So I was tasked to find normal, middle-aged lady, young lady. That means like kid, and then male.
So she's a young lady lah.
Yeah, she's the young lady lah.
Of course, she's
If you
29.
say so.
Yeah.
But you see, certain voice artists, right, no matter how old they are, they can still tweak their voice to become a lot younger.
Can you
I have.
be a 15-year-old Chinese girl?
I'm not going to be a 15-year-old Chinese girl. But I did actually record something for an audition. So let me see if I can find it. They wanted
Why you
me.
record? Just say it again.
no,
You are here.
But to me, it was I've actually done a lot of voiceover work before. Not personally as the artist, but as the person that liaises with the client. So this is not my first rodeo. I've done it a lot of times. And before this,
Alright.
it was my previous agency that they sourced for the voice artist. Probably because they have better rate, or maybe they have a better connection, or it's just friend. Even Wing Kyong is actually a voice artist.
Serious?
Yeah, Wing Kyong is a voice
Wow.
artist.
I mean, when you can tell anything and I'll believe it. Man.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Seriously, yeah.
For
You could be
real.
a firefighter and a doctor at the same time.
Yeah,
I believe it.
like,
Yeah.
Thanks, bro.
You can do two shifts at the same time, so probably, yeah.
So
I would-
because
I believe
of this,
it.
I
Hey,
was
it's Porsche
familiar
driving.
with the
Yeah, I'll
process.
believe it.
All right.
Yeah, do you want to play that? You wanna
Yeah.
play
But no, go on. I want to hear your
Your voiceover.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I
your
went through
story.
a few, and I contacted one by one. So they have rates depending on how long, what type of ad, is it going to be on radio, is it going to be a video and stuff like that. So I contacted, and then client chose her out of the other amongst the three.
Thank God. Alhamdulillah.
Alhamdulillah.
Yeah, and on top of that, she had a studio, her own studio.
Well,
I
it's
mean,
my
her
husband's.
husband's,
but
Rate
yeah.
our studio.
Our studio is quite shit compared to his studio.
Probably a two out of 10.
Hey, I got two.
No, I think ours is like a 4, but
4.
his is about a 9.
9.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's about a 9 or a 10 out of 10 because it's at the corner of the room, I remember, where she does the voice recording.
It's glass.
It's a complete dead zone.
Oh.
Like, you will hear,
Nothing. Oh, that happened to me
Nothing.
when my father slapped me before, man.
Okay.
Yeah, serious. When I remember that noise, I remember my father slapping me.
Oh
It
dear.
was so painful that I didn't feel anything. I heard me.
Yeah,
and then my
yeah.
face bleed.
Wow.
That was some slap, bro.
That's pretty hardcore.
Yeah.
But this one don't need lah. You just walk there lah.
Oh, okay. You know why I got slapped? Not because I put the Milo packet on the table like this.
That one you deserve a slap.
Then he said, it will spill. I'm like, it's not going to spill. It's not going to spill. Pow!
It would have spilled.
After he slapped you, confirm spill.
After he slapped me, no. I think when I take the Milo, then I went to my room and cried some shit.
How old were you when this
I was like
happened?
maybe Form 1 or I think it was around standard 6 and 5 like
You know
that.
he's so tall. He's so tall. He's like
Oh.
6'2", 6 foot.
Wow.
And I used to be taller than him when we were.
I still got
when
the
we
picture. You
met.
want to see the picture?
Sure.
He shows this to everybody that comes on the podcast.
I am proud, you know. You know how many times that I know it's sidetracking, but you know how many times people make fun of my height last time? A lot.
And now that he makes fun of my height, I never made fun of his height, which is weird. So he takes it out on everybody that's shorter than him now.
Yeah.
Okay, you show me mine, I'll show you.
Okay.
You show me yours, I'll show you mine.
Yeah.
know.
So in the end, the client decided to go with you, and then everything. I don't know. It's just basically a recording. Then you recorded prior to the recording itself, which saved a lot of time.
Yes.
And it was like your husband's name is Rafiq, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So the corner of his room is a dead zone, and he did it himself. So like our sound panels, I think like this total room, right? This total I think is about 700 ringgit.
Okay.
For all the panels here. His right, I think 2 meter by 2 meter is already 500 ringgit.
Well, there must be some good ass
But
quality.
your husband does it as a profession, right?
Yeah, yeah. Ours is a
Yeah,
is a mere
Yes.
hobby.
He's a music producer.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a necessity.
Correct,
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
You know, it's very particular about sound quality
Yes,
and
Of course.
everything,
Yeah, it should be. Right? Someone has to be.
Exactly, Of course. The only issue is because it's next to a house and it's not soundproofed, it's acoustically treated, but we can still hear the dog barking.
You still hear a bit of the
A little
rain.
bit of the rain if it's really, really heavy,
Yeah.
kind of thing. So,
But it's perfect because a lot of the work that you do is just that voiceover for that period of time. So you can kind of arrange, and then I didn't know this was a thing until recently, where a lot of the voice artists I contacted, including yourself, will send you the voice recording, and then you can make changes and feedback. You just let us know.
actually, the MCO or the CMCO has kind of shifted the way we worked.
Oh, so prior it was
Prior to this, we would happily go to the studio and record
with the client and
with the
everything.
client there. Well, sometimes the client will attend, sometimes they won't. Sometimes it'll be a WhatsApp kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
So, there are different variations of how it's worked, but we would go to the studio and then we record. We're done, and then their work begins.
I see.
We'll just leave. But now, especially because of the whole MCO situation, we've been asked, to work from home. So
Sure.
those of us who already have a setup and have been accustomed to it, it's easier lah for us to we know how to edit and just
Get the
send it
file out.
over, just get the file out. Some of the talents aren't familiar with it, so they just record, but then they don't edit. And
It's like
they
a
just
raw file and then
send a
I'm-
completely raw file, and then you have to
Cut it
go
out.
through
And that's
it
my
and-
job lah. I'm the editor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we, even before I met my husband, I had my own
Oh,
basic
I see.
setup,
Recording setup.
at home.
How did you go into voiceover though?
Oh yeah, man. We
I
should
mean-
just start from the very beginning.
Let's start from the very beginning.
Who's this? Elsa, is it? Huh? Is that
Oh my
Elsa?
God! This is how young you are. Have you not heard of The Sound of Music?
How you don't know the sound of music?
Maybe you
It's Julie
sing.
Andrews.
Oh.
You know in Switzerland, she's in the green field. It's like,
You know, it's like
the sound.
you know the song, but you just don't know the name. That's me.
So this is.
I've been to that place, and I sang the sound of
Oh
music.
no, no, Choming!
Chomil?
See the picture? I don't think I've seen it before.
Who's the Chomil?
You look like a gangster lah.
John?
You look
It's a
like
Chinese
budak nakal lah.
Did you know? Fun fact: I never ponteng class. Fun fact: I also attended every class. I also did
Were you
all my
prefect
homework.
also?
No, I was the pengawas SPPT where you
Can the
lend
viewers
books.
see this so that they can see what we're seeing?
You can pass to me.
You want
So I was a pengawas SPPT.
So
So I'm
I'm
the one.
gangster ni.
Don't damn gangster, right, John?
Gangster.
Look at me, bro. I good boy, but actually I pointing the most and stuff like that.
Memang macam budak baik. Ya
Sorry lah,
Allah,
Kak.
comelnya.
Apa Chomil? I thought want to show height. I didn't expect Chomil. I'm just showing height, bro, not Chomil semua. Yeah, but I look pretty small boy last time lah.
But that's why he can ponteng because he can climb up everywhere.
Tactical.
And then when did the height spurt happen?
After I get my SPM result.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, so when I leave school and the next time we meet,
Yeah, man. I came back from the US. I'm like, what happened to you, man?
So.
Puberty.
It's true.
But I
Okay.
got my puberty pretty late lah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Better late than never.
Thank God. I watched that movie, the guy, you know, that was. I don't think you'll watch this. It's but I want to hear some of
Okay,
your.
okay. I'll just do one first, and then I'll get into.
You know what?
I'll answer your
Do
question.
me touchy.
Wait.
Saya kena buat mini.
This is you That's a 5-year-old girl, man.
Masak.
Yeah, they wanted me to be a 3-year-old.
Nanti mama kemas.
I really cannot see.
Wow.
I mean, that's so good,
Kita
but I can't
masak
stand
lagi.
it.
Bye.
But did you
La,
know
la, la.
it's so difficult getting a child voiceover artist?
That was the BM version. This is the English one.
Baby, you spill your milk. Daddy, I'm making baby lunch.
I thought you said I'm making babies.
I want this one. Goodbye, baby, on the treetop.
That's quite impressive.
Blows.
See?
That's remarkable.
It reminds me of the Despicable Me, that small girl. You know, that it's so fluffy.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
yeah, yeah.
can you say that?
Not everybody can do everything.
I'm just trying my luck. You know, it's so fluffy. Can you try that?
It's so fluffy, I can't die.
Can do it.
Fucking impressive.
That's damn accurate.
That's pretty fucking impressive, man.
Is it? Gosh, I thought it was normal, but
But I if I do certain voices, my throat gets fucked, man. Like it hurts, and then
I can't
like,
do all voices. But you know, when it comes
Yeah.
to young, what?
Godfather.
No,
You come into my heart.
I don't do. I'll recommend you another voiceover talent who I know does really, really good impressions.
Godfather.
oh, they can do
Ooh.
impressions.
Yeah,
Oh, that's
I
so
mean, there's a
entertaining.
particular one who's really good at doing impressions. Yeah,
Wow.
he's a voiceover talent as well. His name is Asman. He has his own, he has his Instagram thing. I'll set you guys up, and then you can get him in.
Sure, that
And
sounds.
then
That
it will
sounds
be a
fun.
lot. You'll have a lot of fun with him. So he looks very deadpan. Really,
He looks very- very
I mean,
Japan.
very
No, deadpan,
deadpan,
no
very
expression.
like
No expression.
no. I mean, very soft-spoken and everything. But then when you get him to act, it's like, who is this guy? Like,
Yeah.
wow. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, so he does impression and you do
I do
kid.
small kids. Well, that sounds so wrong.
Yeah, I know. Hey.
Ew!
Taken out of context.
I know!
We should just crop that part of the video and just like,
I do small kids.
I do small kids.
Haram!
it's over.
Small kids, no?
Better not. Let's just see how the conversation goes and see what else
Yeah.
you can take.
We were at. How did you
How
start?
did I start?
Was when you were a kid? Did you know that you've always wanted to do voiceovers?
Confirm.
In a
no.
way, yes.
What?
Oh.
I didn't know that there was a job for it, but it was something that I enjoyed doing because I was an only child for a long while, so I had to entertain myself, right? And I love to read, so when I read my own storybooks to myself, you know, all the characters, I would change the voices,
Oh,
or you know,
wow.
play with little toys, change
Sure,
the
sure, sure.
voices. Newspapers, I'd read the articles as if I was a news
Reporter.
reporter, a news announcer.
Did you have an imaginary friend?
No.
Okay. Continue. I just wanted to know.
I had an imaginary
You had an
friend.
imaginary friend?
Really?
Yeah.
Him, her, it.
Actually, it wasn't really an imaginary friend. I was actually very similar. Like because Andrew was very young. He was
Right.
like what? I don't know when I was like 4 or 5. Andrew was like 2 or 1. So he was a baby, right? And he didn't really speak a lot.
Yeah.
Because
So
he
you
was a
needed
kid.
a friend.
Even today, it hasn't changed.
Yeah, even today he doesn't really say much. If you notice, like, has he ever? No.
Things haven't changed.
Yeah. So I used to speak in the mirror a lot. I speak into the mirror and I talk to myself in the mirror. And that's how I
Right.
improved my speaking a lot.
Right.
And I didn't know that was a thing until I grew older and like people like, oh, you should rehearse in front of a mirror. I'm like,
Wow.
I've been doing that since I was a kid.
Yeah.
That sounds kind of weird, but it's okay.
Yeah. I used to do that kind of stuff too. I used to
Yeah.
record myself. I'd say something, I would laugh my head off, and then I would just, record it and then play it back, and then here I just laugh again. Like,
Oh, you record on the cassette and all
on the
that?
cassette.
Oh.
Cassette.
For
Used to do.
all those young people wondering what cassette is,
Yes.
please Google.
I was going to say, please explain.
Okay, I'm just going to say please Google. Okay, I'm not going to explain what's cassette.
Cassette, yes, yeah. So magazines, they would have ads, right? So I would read those ads as if it was an ad, like a TV
Oh,
ad. So but it was just something I did for fun.
Yeah.
But I never imagined that I would actually end up doing it.
So
as a
post
career.
SPM, then is that how you? How did you?
No, I actually started when I left JB.
Oh, you're from JB, ah?
Yeah.
Holy.
Well, my dad is from JB.
Okay,
yeah,
okay.
my late mom was from Klang. So I left JB to come to KL. That was in 2001. And
Okay.
I was working at the time for a recording studio.
Okay.
The recording studio was in Ocean Audio Institute of Ocean Institute of Audio Technology. I think,
Wow.
If
Where
I'm
is
not
that?
mistaken.
Institute of Audio.
If I'm not mistaken.
Where
Did
is
I get
that?
that right?
Something like
That was in Ampang.
Okay.
So I used to
Okay.
travel from Subang.
Oh,
At the time, I took
Jesus.
the bus.
That's literally the opposite side.
So go to Kelana Jaya, take the LRT, and then take another bus.
Were you a
to-
talent there, or is it?
I wasn't. I was actually supposedly doing marketing, trying to promote the studio to the advertising agencies.
Oh.
So, but because it was a college, and there were students who needed to do their assignments. So some of the assignments required voices.
And
so they, I don't know what made them decide that. Okay, Kak Adila, can you please, record for us, whatever. So I used to, I would actually be on their projects. I don't know what I did. One of them graduated and worked for a recording studio.
Okay.
And she called me and said, well, we're auditioning for someone to do jingles because they also knew that I could sing.
Oh.
Well, kind of sing. So I went there and I auditioned and they chose me. So I actually started off my career doing jingles.
Wow.
For ads.
For ads. So on and off.
the jingle bell.
Sure.
Jingle
No.
bell,
A jingle is an advertising like a tune. Like para pa pa pa, I'm loving it. The
Yeah.
McDonald's. So that's a jingle.
So what was your jingle?
I can't remember what I can't
That's a
remember.
good jingle, okay?
That's a shit jingle.
fucking shit. What the fuck?
Thank you, Maxim Bad.
Do you remember any brands that you did?
I'm gonna look it up and then I'm gonna play one for you.
I bet she's a really smart student last time.
No.
Right? I bet you
no.
get 4.5 CGPA.
4.5. You go
No.
beyond the 4.0.
You go beyond. That's how smart she is.
You go
4.0,
beyond.
4.5, bro.
You teach the professor in
Yeah.
the exam.
I teach the professor in the exam.
Mitochondria, I'll tell you more about it than you already know.
You might know more about mitochondria.
That's how smart she is, bro.
Okay, so I don't know if the quality is that good,
Oh, don't worry.
but let's see whether you remember this one. I don't know if you might remember this one.
This is you. This is you.
You don't know this song.
Don't know.
Kamu tahu?
Hey, I know. Wait, I'm trying. ice cream, right? Yeah, okay, this is like kedai Ringgit or something. I don't know. It's so familiar, you know.
I don't know what
NTV7
brand
is it?
Oh, that must mean you must be really young. Yes,
NTV7 what? Right?
This is Oligo Coco. It's kind of like it's a chocolate drink.
It's like a
Like
Milo.
Coco.
Local.
Oh, like
Like
Vico?
a-
Like
Kind
Vico,
of
like
Milo type of thing.
Vico. I don't know whether.
So you
Wow.
said
Or
that
not.
that's you.
I mean, that was one of the earlier.
You
ads
are
I've
literally part of all of the adults right now within John's and my age.
done. Okay, I'll play something.
Did you hear that before?
No, I've never heard of that
No,
before.
meh.
No, you've heard of?
That
think
means
it's from TV2
you're
or
young
TV2
lah. You guys are
TV2
young.
or TV2?
No, but when I was... that was like year 2000 onwards, right?
Kat mana they
That
play?
was from the year 2000.
Where did they play that ad?
Later.
In which
On
channel?
TV.
TV3 right? TV2.
Local
A
television or
local
Astro?
television
Did
lah.
you watch TV3, TV2?
I was watching too much HBO and Cinemax.
That's
That's why my
the
mind is...
differentiation of the gap, you know? The
Gosh.
poverty side and the rich.
No, that's why my mind is polluted.
TV3, TV2.
I watched too many, like,
HBO,
Too many SX18 movies.
When you
for
were
my
9
age.
years old,
Yeah, it was too much.
I
And
was-
that's why I'm like so corrupted
I
now.
was still Doraemon.
Yeah. Yeah. But so when you do these voiceover recordings, right, for jingles,
Right.
do you do it with the whole band, or is it like they take your
No,
voice?
they've already
Had the tune.
had the music already set up.
Oh,
I
so you
just
sing
had to
along.
sing along with it. I just had to
Wow.
sing on top of it.
Okay.
One of the one of the more recent ones that I've done.
Is that how it propelled you into your career?
No, actually, what really propelled me. I mean, from jingles, then I also started auditioning for animation.
Oh,
so I did
like cartoons.
the cartoons and all that. So I did animation, very little voiceover work actually. It was only until I became a radio announcer.
You become a radio
that's the
announcer.
best.
That's
Pizza
why
fan is it?
lah.
Pizza fan is it?
I first started off with Red.
Oh, Red
Red
FM.
FM.
Yo, I want to be a radio announcer. Take me.
She's no longer in the industry,
No, I'm
bro.
not in the
No longer?
industry. No. And even if I was, they wouldn't hire you.
Why?
Because now they look at your Instagram followers, they look at your social media followers. You have to be a somebody
serious?
now.
You're a celebrity, isn't it?
When I started out, they didn't have that. Social media wasn't a thing, right? Instagram wasn't a thing.
It was
you
your
know?
ability.
It was our ability.
That's how you guys hire people lah.
Now,
Are you serious? Is that the requirement now?
Those sick people.
if when I started out, Red FM was still very much an underdog radio station.
Yeah.
So and it was bad. Yeah, it was there was no direction. It wasn't being run by radio people, you know. My colleague, I was actually working in Vision KL at the
Okay.
time, and my colleague was working at Red FM, but he was doing the evening show, so part-time. So daytime,
Full-time
office
job,
hours,
yeah.
full-time job.
I see.
Nighttime,
Wow,
then he was
that
like-
is intense. Man.
That's a long working
so
hours.
then, yeah, but he enjoyed it, you know. So he suggested that why don't I send in my demo, since he knows that I do some
Voiceovers.
kind of voiceover work. And actually, my best friend was also working for Astro at the time, and
Oh.
she said, "Hey, someone from Mix FM has already left, so why don't you try and audition for it?" So at the time, we did CDs. So I went to the same recording studio that auditioned me the very first time, and
Okay.
then I asked the engineer a favor: can we record a demo CD? So I did, and Red FM took me on. So they came in and said, "Okay, we're interested. Let's do an interview." So I came in, did an interview, and then they were like, "Okay, all right. So we're gonna hire you for it was a Sunday, I think it was
Morning
Sunday
show.
afternoon."
Oh, okay.
Sunday
Good.
afternoon, you
Okay.
know, just fill it. Then after that, they gave me let's give you a Saturday and Sunday slot for the same time.
Wow.
And then, so I would be doing that on the weekends. So I would have my full-time job, and then on the weekends I would have my radio thing to do. So, but I didn't really, you know, it was, at the time Red FM was like, no one's listening in, you know, it's like, I don't have to worry too much, whatever. And then, I think about 6 months of that, I did that about part-time. Then the program manager, who was actually from Singapore and would travel back and forth, she offered me a full-time position,
Like Monday to Friday?
like Monday to Friday. So which means that I have to leave my old job,
Yeah.
which is great because I was like, I can't do this anymore. Oh my god, this is my life. So, but I had to take a bit of a pay cut, which is fine because I was like,
You're doing what you like.
yeah,
right?
this is
Yeah.
much more fun for me. I want to do something much more fun. So they gave me the midday slot. I think that was like after.
Noon.
Oh no, it wasn't the midday slot. It was the afternoon.
Morning. Oh, afternoon slot. Okay.
Okay.
Wait, sorry, midday slot, and then 6 months later, afternoon
Oh,
slot.
okay.
So it was a very quick progression in that radio station, and by then they'd already had hired new people, and there was more
grew.
direction.
Oh.
It grew. So I'm happy to say that I was part of that journey of Red FM finally
The
coming
rising
up.
of
The rising of Red
So
FM. Yeah,
she's the one, bro.
part of a
part of
team.
it.
One part
team
of the
lah, part
team.
of
Yeah,
team,
it's all teamwork, you know.
Yeah.
And then we were asked to replace the breakfast show.
Oh, the breakfast show is like the biggest part of it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
highest
was-
traffic, right?
Yeah. So the same guy who suggested that I extend in my demo ended up becoming my co-host on the drive time. And then we were doing that for about 6 months. And then they were asked, "Can you please replace the breakfast show?"
Oh no.
So I know, because they were thinking, do we want to train the new breakfast show to be in line with what we're looking at? Because at that time we were just like all over the place. It was just like, oh, we're just coming up with our own ideas, our own format, whatever. Then they hired this consultant from Scotland to come in
Oh,
and
God.
actually fine tune everything, make sure it was like format radio. Then it became format radio.
Yeah.
So we ended up becoming the new breakfast show. Actually, we were to be honest, we were forced into it because we were like, if you don't take this, if you don't
we
do
gonna
the
let you go?
breakfast show, they said that we don't have initiative. It means that we don't have any drive or
No
no
heart lah, no
ambition,
heart.
no
But this is
heart
all
or
based on
whatever.
one guy's like.
It's all psychology.
Yes, it was, and it worked
And
for
it
them.
worked.
So we ended up being on the breakfast show, and then we did that for about a year or two, for about 2 years, I think it was.
Still quite
And
long though, 2 years.
Quite long. We got poached by Astro. The both of
Oh.
us. The first time we got poached by Astro to join Mix FM and be their new Mix.
Wait, is
breakfast
Mix
show.
FM under Astro?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know this.
Mix hits, light,
Mix hits and light.
But
and a
aren't
whole
they
bunch
all
of others.
competitive?
All
Wow.
under Astro.
Oh, that's
I didn't know
damn, I didn't know about that.
Yeah.
Wow. Oh, so you went to Mix lah, like that?
Yeah, we ended up joining Mix, and we were there for I think it was three years.
Is Fly FM under Astro?
No, Fly is under Media Prima.
Wow.
Fly.
I did not know this. I
Hot.
didn't know there was like a,
Really?
yeah, I didn't know
Right.
this. I only
Yeah.
know Media Prima gives you damn good salary if you work there. Then I'm like, oh, I know Astro used
How
to do
the-
that.
Can we say this? Is this disclosable?
I don't know.
They're not
This
doing
is
well,
big.
lah. It's in the papers. They're not doing well.
Who's not
The-
doing well?
Generally,
Generally, the
broadcasting.
industry is
Yes.
Yeah,
going
because
on a
of
downward trend.
podcasts and
Yes,
and stuff like
and
this.
Spotify,
Yeah.
and all that stuff.
No, it's the
Because-
freedom of speech issue. That's the thing. Because a lot of times when you work under a radio station, when you work
You can't
under
say stuff.
yeah, you can't say a lot of things.
Correct.
And that censorship is what really like halts creativity, and it kind of like makes you feel as if like this is just a scripted show.
Yeah, it was a scripted show. It
see
was
what I
very
mean?
It was a
scripted.
scripted show?
It was very
Oh,
scripted.
pause.
Correct. We.
On-
That's when it became. It lost the fun factor for me because
That's what Red FM had.
Yes, Red FM wasn't scripted. Yeah, of course we have an idea. Okay, all right, guys, what should we talk about? You know, tomorrow,
yeah,
whatever. So it was just but it was much more organic, and we did not have scripts. We were just talking like this.
Wow,
Yeah,
So
okay.
you know,
That's the shit, man.
That's the way it should
That's the
be.
way to go, man.
I would actually listen to radio like that.
Yeah.
and our listeners who followed us from Red to Mix actually could tell the difference. They said that we
Yep.
sounded like we had more fun when we were on
Red.
Red, and it sounded much more natural compared to when we were at Mix.
Yeah, you can't.
The ones
Your
who-
voice tells a lot. Actually, you
Yeah.
can hear these things.
Yeah,
the
it was too
enthusiasm.
perfect. They didn't. They wanted to. I understand. They wanted to minimize any mistakes, any fumbles, and also, at Red we were live.
Oh my god! And Mix is pre-recorded.
Yes.
Huh?
The hell!
How
I
do
didn't
you
know.
pre-record a
No,
morning
it's normal.
show?
It's normal. It's normal. I
There's
didn't know this. I
So-
thought it was.
There's also a 7-second delay.
So you
So-
just like imagine it's morning and then you just go and hey good morning blah 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 and then you record and you just play the next day.
Yeah, we come in. No, not the next day.
No, not the next day. The
but
day.
it's just like maybe a few minutes earlier.
Oh, I thought it was like a good hour before the show starts and all that.
Well, some of us can,
Yeah, I
mean-
remember a few of my friends who did that.
When I was on the weekend shows, I could pre-record ahead. Like I'll be there. My show is like 4 hours, and then I was able to record maybe like 2 hours worth earlier.
Oh, okay.
I'll go in because you have ads, you have songs.
Yep.
So during that time,
It
that's
fills
when
in
you
the
have
space.
time.
Yeah.
Yes. And then like we'll be done, but you still have to wait.
Just in case, because if any
Yes.
last minute news or
If
whatever,
anything happens, any glitches.
then that's when you come in.
Yeah,
right?
it was all a safety precaution lah.
Sure.
In it,
You know,
but
I-
it lost, like you said, the creativity, the feel factor. Like sometimes we'll have a conversation off air while the song or the ad is
You
playing,
can't say that.
and then we'll be like, "Oh, that was so good. Okay, please, say that when we go on air again. Let's do that for the next
Yeah, yeah,
recording.
yeah,
It will come out completely different. The feeling is gone. The
Yeah.
moment is gone.
Yes, yes.
Because you must say that one time that's where it's funny. Right? No,
Yeah, like you want to repeat again.
It loses the spark,
Exactly.
It loses the spark.
Exactly. So I gradually lost the passion for radio
Oh
because
no, that's fucked up, man.
everything
so
was
messed up.
about it was about numbers.
Yeah.
We have a thing called survey. It's an industry thing. Everyone knows about it. The agencies, the broadcasting companies, the clients also. There's a survey. Survey is when that's when you hear all the radio stations like throwing out money like $1 million, or if there'll be so many contests. They'll be running like, how come? Wow, they've got so much money to give, or they're giving away a car, or like
Wow.
this. Look for the was it
The next star or some stuff.
I think I can't
No,
remember.
like
hits.
listening to clues during the show.
Yeah, hidden
Yeah.
keywords.
Keywords, or like,
Yeah.
okay, well, we're gonna pay your bills. Like we had something called pay your bills. So you have to actually give us your bill, and then I can't remember. You have to guess the songs or something like that too, and then or we will choose you, and then we will pay your bill. So when you hear all the radio stations doing contests like that, major contests, and giving out lots of money and prizes, that is when survey is happening, because they want to try and get the numbers. They want
To
to
count
see
how
like
many listeners
how
are
many
listening in.
listeners are listening in. Exactly like they want to get all the data basically. But to me, I always felt like, well, that's just not accurate, because
You're
shouldn't you're forcing your listeners
To listen.
to listen, because you're
Giving
bribing
something, Yeah.
them with stuff.
That was the method lah.
That
the
was the
method to
method.
increase the numbers.
Yeah, but it's not just in Malaysia. It was like that. It's
Industry
like that
standard at the time.
Yeah, in the industry anyway. So to me, it just felt like this is not realistic. It's not accurate. If you really want to know how many listeners and how many what they're listening to, how long they're spending, the duration of time that they're listening to you should be doing it like for the whole year, and just and continue to just get all the data during that time, instead of this 2-3
Period of
months,
time, yeah.
this period of time when
Really
you just
jam-pack that shit with all the content.
Exactly. And here's the thing about contests. It's always the same group of people taking part in those
Of course,
contests.
you have the people who are cheapskates who want to make a quick buck, and it's always the same small group who's applying to these
It's
contests.
true. They even have a forum
Yeah, of course.
where they discuss. And so they know, they try to find the loopholes in all the different radio stations, because we have this term where it's like, okay, if you've already won a prize on the station, you cannot play any games on this station for the next 30 days.
Wow.
Oh, I didn't know we had that.
Damn.
Yes, so so every time we have a winner coming in, then we have to write down their details, or so we can check.
Record
So we
lah.
have the details, so we'll know like, oh, you already won, you are
You
not
can't-
qualified, or so the details are there, the IC number, their names, their numbers,
Wow.
their address, whatever it is.
But
Because
why do they stop people from winning again?
it won't be fair, because it's
Yeah.
always the same people. It's always the same people taking part. And the thing is, some of them have more than one phone. In fact, one of them, I remember a story where they came in and to collect his prize, and I don't know if this is an exaggeration, but they said that he had one of his phones rang, and he just kept taking out one by one to find out which phone was ringing.
That sounds like me playing Pokemon Go.
So he had all these phones, and this is how they try to
Increase their chances.
Increase their chances of winning, because they have a different phone number.
This is a very common thing though. This is a very common thing. Nowadays it's different Facebook accounts. That's the new trend. Because I'm not allowed to disclose who, but I know a marketing person who does
Right.
contests.
Right.
And like what she has to do is has to go through who participated in these contests.
Yes.
And if you look at all these accounts, and she has to unfortunately vet through one by one,
Right.
she will tell me, do you know how many accounts I go through a day?
Huh.
I go through like 100 plus accounts.
Oh my god.
Okay?
It's
And all those accounts are all contest only. It's all spam accounts.
Oh.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
it's a norm in I think in a lot of countries. I don't know, but when you get to see it back end, I can tell why.
Yeah.
It's the same. I think it's just different phone numbers, but this one is different
Yeah.
Facebook accounts. Facebook are free.
Need to go to the washroom.
Oh, okay. Watch out for the cam.
Oh,
You can't tahan.
we're not going to stop this?
No, it's
No,
okay.
but-
Don't worry.
Okay.
It's
happened live. We are live.
All right.
We are live.
Live, konon. Okay.
so wait. So you were at Mix FM for 2 years, and then
No, I was there for about 3 years
oh
actually.
jeez.
Yeah. So,
Morning show is early, man.
freaking early. I'm not even a morning person.
You should be there by like 5.
No, 4-3.
No lah. No.
man.
No.
I see my friends all wake up 3-4. Oh my god, go radio station. Okay.
I wake up at 4:30 in the morning, but and then I'm snooze. But then but we have to be there before 6, like
Yeah.
at least half an hour
That's
before
really
6
nice.
a.m. I mean, the pros is that there's no traffic.
You have a lot of
it's-
time in your day, right?
Yeah, after lunch is okay.
Eh, but not okay. Our body clock is completely different.
yeah,
of course,
It's
of course.
completely
And it's Monday to
messed
Friday.
up.
And it's Monday to
Monday
Friday.
to Friday.
Yeah.
But we still have our weekend shows to record for. So Friday is always like madness, because
Oh,
like
no.
everyone wants to try and get the studio so that they can record
So
for
they have their weekend. So they can record everything,
weekend. my weekend was just spent indoors sleeping, just to catch
Recover.
up on
Yep.
sleep. And it was not, for me, it wasn't a very healthy lifestyle because
But you did for 3 years, so that's fucking intense, man.
3 years is very little compared to the others, like people like, like at the breakfast show, like Ian, for instance. Like, come on, he's been doing this for
What, Ian?
when I
Like a
started.
decade maybe.
When I started out, that's when he started out the breakfast show,
Wow.
and he's still doing it.
Like JJ and Ian, right?
Yes,
Which is now Ian and Arnold Ian, right?
yes.
I don't even listen to radio anymore.
Neither do I.
Neither do I.
How do you know that?
I haven't listened to
No, it's
radio.
because they had the recent conflict with Jason Leong.
Oh, the jujitsu one.
Yeah,
Have you seen
yeah.
the jujitsu one?
What? No.
There was on Hits FM they did this gotcha calls.
Yeah.
Oh, so lame.
I
right?
don't.
Yeah. But
That's another
they
thing.
did this gotcha call thing for the longest time, and then Jason Leong, the comedian, Dr. Jason Leong.
Yeah.
He said that he's not a fan of gotcha calls because it makes it feel as if it's a lot of stress onto the person that's being called, right? So he says that I'll challenge Ian to a jujitsu battle,
Oh, okay.
just
yeah.
one round, and whoever wins that round,
Right.
if I win, you take down the breakfast show.
Right.
I mean, take the breakfast
Take
show,
down the gotcha call? Wow.
But if you win, you get to keep on the gotcha call. So it was like
Wow.
a battle between the two, and then in the end, when they did the jujitsu battle, Jason won, and Ian was like, "Gotcha." That's not very nice, lah, right? So there was a big hoo-ha in the whole social media world, and then in the end they took it down. So gotcha is no longer a thing.
Yay! Finally! Oh my god, that thing has been going on for too long.
Yeah, I know it's.
And the thing is, people don't like it.
Yeah.
I mean, we had to do prank calls as well on
Oh, was it?
our but I wasn't directly involved, but my co-host had to do it. We hated it because
Oh, is it?
it's number one. Yeah, you have to think like, who do we call? What we prank them about? I generally don't like to prank people. I don't think it's a nice thing to do, and I don't think it's nice
It's
for the other
emotionally fucking
person.
with the guy, man.
Yeah, I
like,
mean,
dude, that's not right, man.
the thing is because it was something that they took from.
It's FM lah.
The Hits FM in Australia because Melbourne
Oh.
because Australia has Hits Mix and
I didn't know that either.
yeah.
Wow.
So that was their.
Malaysia.
So that is so they were this way before my time, but they were the consultants for.
Oh,
So
for
that they
hours
helped to bring in
for Malaysia.
Hits Mix and Light in Malaysia. So they had gotcha calls there as well. And it was just something that they felt that, don't, if it's not broken, don't fix it type of thing. They feel like, okay, this is our staple thing for Hits FM.
Yeah.
So, but honestly, I actually feel for the announcers because I know it's not, they dread doing it.
Oh.
Maybe I should be saying this. But no.
It's fine. Freedom of
But
speech.
yeah. No, but I mean, yeah, right? Yeah, I mean, it's
It's taxing lah.
Yeah, it's
very
taxing for both
taxing.
parties, I think.
For
honestly.
both parties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For both the receiver and the giver.
Yeah.
But in the end, I don't think a lot of people like it. Like, people who listen in,
Yeah.
I legit don't think they like it. Like, do you like it? Do you like gotcha call?
No, never did.
Oh, I saw the Dr. Jason Leong
Careful
stuff.
camera. Yeah. That's the one they were talking about.
Honestly, I don't really enjoy the gotcha call.
Yeah, nobody. She was saying how like she too doesn't
thank
like
you.
it,
Yeah.
and a lot of radio announcers don't like it, and a lot of people who receive it don't like it. Only the people who listen into the radio. Actually, I don't even know. I think I'm part of the group that doesn't like it. I never liked it when I was a kid, listening in.
But
Yeah,
they're no longer doing it,
but it's weird because after I went to the States, I realized there was a lot of censorship everywhere in Malaysia. Like, I knew
Yes,
there was
yes.
censorship, but I didn't think it was a big deal, right? Because, I mean, you can say that we live in privilege, lah, right? You can say
Yeah.
whatever the fuck you want, right? But after, when you come back, you realize a lot of things in the news are, like, half-truths. Or, like, they don't fully say what is the full extent of the story sometimes. It's very
Yeah.
biased.
Yeah.
Selective truth.
Yeah. Selective truths. Yeah, that's the correct term. And then in the end, ultimately, I just tuned out. I rather listen to Spotify and just listen to music because I just don't want to.
Exactly. I think a
Yeah.
lot of people felt the same way or feel the same way because I think after a while, I think the smart ones or the intelligent ones, maybe you don't have to be. You sometimes listen in and you feel like, you know what, this doesn't feel real.
You can feel the
You
tone
kind of feel like this is a bit too.
skewed to one direction.
Like something's not
Yeah.
right.
Something's not right,
Yeah.
or like, come on, is this for real?
Mhm.
I mean, yes, part of it is real.
But it's biased. It's biased is the thing.
It's
a lot of times it's
biased.
biased. Even the newspapers and all that. So that's why I like kind of tuned out. And there's this thing about fake news and shit, right?
Right.
But I think it's now the reader's responsibility, or the listener in this case, right? You have to kind of listen to various touch points or various outlets, and then you kind of have to form your own truth, That's the fucked up thing, because last time it's usually just delivered to you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is the news.
Yeah.
Or on the TV, this is the news.
Yeah.
Radio, this is the news. But now it's like, you listen to CNBC, you listen to CNN, you listen to everything Al Jazeera, and you're like,
What is news?
yeah, remember our client was talking about Al Jazeera?
Yeah.
She was saying how like it's quite biased the way they shot that video and everything.
Yes.
Yeah, did you see the Al Jazeera video? There's this I think it's this Bangladeshi guy, right?
It was a big hoo-ha because he had so-called let them in to see the conditions of the...
Of Malaysia's fake COVID-19 management and all that. But he recorded very biased things, and of course, with the power of editing, you put in like very ominous music like dum dum.
Yeah.
And then you show people like rushing everywhere, like trying to save people's lives, and then people like, So of course you can skew it to however you want, right?
Sure.
And she's like, actually that was not the case. But the guy was deported back to his country and everything because of the way he framed it.
Yeah.
If you think about it, right, like I think Malaysia did decent lah. I'm not saying they did the best lah, right? But compared to a lot of places around the world, I think they did a decent job. I think it's worth giving a pat on the back.
Them, but then it came back up again.
Yeah, I know, but it's the thing. There are always different spikes. Even Japan also today had a huge number of cases. So it depends on the country, right? And we're all handling this very differently. So to me, I felt like it was a very neutral thing. Like if they handled it okay, why must you make it sound like it's a...
There's always
bad
more
thing.
than one side to the story.
Yeah. But a lot of times the news kind of frames it the way they want to frame it. For the clicks, for the views,
Yes.
for the likes.
Yes.
Yeah, man.
So it's the same thing. Like with on air, we had to. All the stories had to be sensational.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Right. If it's not
you can't have a normal day.
Yeah.
It would be too boring for the listeners.
Yeah.
They would say like, "Oh, it's too boring." So we always have to come up. We always have to search through our own personal stories or a friend's story.
Dude, that sounds fucking familiar, right? Don't you think? Like Yamcha sessions in the beginning, we used to do that. We're like, oh fuck, what they say, what they world buzz and all that.
Yeah.
And now we're just like,
Fuck it.
fuck it lah. We're just gonna talk about whatever we feel like talking
Whatever we
that
want.
day.
Yeah.
And if people don't watch, people don't watch. I don't give a shit.
So now you know kind of the gist of what it feels like to be a radio announcer, where you have this obligation to entertain.
Yes.
Because that was what it was. The breakfast show was a show. It was a show to so-called entertain the listeners while they're stuck in traffic. And
Who would tune into your channel?
to our
more?
channel. That's why you have all those contests. That's why you have all those gotcha calls or whatever staple, contests that we're running.
That's why they play Maroon 5 like shit because I likes Maroon 5. God damn it.
Oh, that's another thing. Yeah, that's the whole.
They play
other
the same
thing.
song.
Music.
They
Yeah.
play the same song. Oh my god.
Yeah, because it's supposedly, one of the top songs to listen to.
They
Sure.
overplay it though. Hit Japan overplay the song every damn hours, yeah.
I think most radio stations do that, right?
Yes.
They overplay it until it's so freaking saturated, and then they just change it to whatever
Another
is trending
one.
at that time.
Aiyo.
Jason Mraz, man.
So you have that's why it's format.
Yeah.
Radio it's formatted. So because at one point I did actually just before I left radio, I did have some time to put in the music into the system.
Oh, you got to select it as well.
Based on whatever was available,
Oh,
and
no.
there's a whole formula. I mean, I can't remember now. It's already been like 7 years since I left,
Formula?
but there's a whole formula.
E equals MC squared.
Yeah, like you had to try and select the songs, but you only have.
Can you just put you know what? I like this song. I'm gonna play this song. Cannot.
Oh, it's within a list, They give you a list of
Like
songs.
you can't play Marvin Gaye's "Let's Get It On,"
What?
"Sexual Healing," that kind of stuff. There are certain songs
Oh,
that
because
are
it's-
banned.
yeah.
So like we do not have. Here's the misconception that a lot of people still seem to have is that the radio announcer is the one who is selecting those songs.
Oh, I've always knew it's not.
Those songs have
No lah.
already
Yeah.
been pre-selected
Yeah.
and already been put in by a music executive. So,
Based on numbers, right?
Based on numbers.
See
And
what
it's
I mean?
always about numbers. And that's also the thing that took my passion out of radio because
Yep.
it stopped becoming
Creative.
It stopped becoming a conversation between the us and the listeners. It was just all very set up. It was
It's a
all very
machine.
scripted.
Yeah.
And it was all about the numbers. So at the end of the day, we had to make sure that our station was the number one station, or that a lot of people listening to the station, that every time survey results come out, that we have increased our
Sure.
numbers. And now, with social media, the announcers also have to make sure that their numbers on social media increase, that they have to also make sure that they post stuff and are regular with it. And
My God.
it's become so.
So they have it's a double metric thing now.
Now it's the double thing. So
you have
I'm
to
so
see your
glad
own growth.
That's nothing to do with the station.
No wonder you let go of your Insta lah.
No, but that was
Phobia.
that was even that
Oh.
was
So what
after.
if that let's say for example, person A is really good at radio announcing and stuff like that, like really amazing. Even though it's scripted, he really know how to make
Yeah.
it very engaging. But he has like 10 followers on Instagram.
Yeah,
Sorry, you have to let you go.
No, they won't let go, but they will have to tell them you need to buck up.
Wow. It's part of the performance lah.
Yes. Part of your KPI.
That is not a KPI. That's just
It is part of the KPI now. Thank God when I was still there, it wasn't a thing yet. After I left, then it became a thing. Facebook, Instagram.
yeah.
And you cannot put your own personal stuff. Like I had a announcer friend, she's no longer radio, but she had her own personal Instagram. And they would show her going out, partying, having a good time
But
with her
cannot.
friends. She got called in and said that you cannot.
Because
You
it tarnishes the radio's image.
Exactly. Even
People's-
though it's her
yeah.
own personal account,
sure, yeah.
but because she's associated with that radio
Correct.
station. I mean, I get it, but it's screwed up lah.
It's not
It
Screwed up.
sucks.
Yeah, yeah,
Like she's
yeah. It's not
robbing a
human.
bank.
I think it's not human.
So, but this is what they actually have to go through. So,
Yep.
being a
Yeah,
radio
that was
announcer,
icon.
No,
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the.
yeah.
Yeah, I think fundamentally it's a business they're trying to run.
It is a business.
Yeah, that's
Like,
why,
That's why I
yeah.
say it's like all about numbers.
Correct.
So you get affected. So if your numbers go up, okay, then you might get a bonus. But if your numbers
Remains or
remain
drop.
or go down, then
Minus salary.
it's always the radio announcer's fault, even though it's
Yep.
a whole team thing.
Because
But
it's the face of the
sometimes
radio station, I think. That's what they
The
perceive.
face now, yes. It used to be just the voice.
Yeah.
Now it's become the face.
Yeah.
So before this, radio, there was no such thing as like, oh, you can have Facebook and you can actually see who the radio announcer is.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You know, when I was listening to radio at the time, like,
can't even know
what did they
who.
sound like?
Yeah.
I mean, what did they look like? But now you have access to them. Like easier access to them because of the social
And
media
it's
accounts and
a-
the ads.
Yep, yep.
Yeah.
And then you have a bigger view on their personal life, and then that's
Yes.
how it affects lah.
But
man.
Really stressful now being a radio announcer, yeah?
yeah, I think so.
Shit, can't
I'm
do
so glad.
stuff.
Oh my god, I felt so. I was like liberated, freedom. When I found it, I'm like,
Imagine if you share something that people are like, wow, this guy discriminating this thing or that thing just because he shared because it's funny. Then there's a problem so lah.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a meme or anything funny.
Imagine if like you share the thing.
Actually, I got a couple of friends who are in radio right now as
Right.
well, and I can feel it.
Are they
I
stressed
see,
out?
I see the change in their
Posting.
profiles, because you know when
everything
you're
has to be clean.
yeah.
Squeaky clean.
Yeah. Yep. No, like, she's got tattoos and everything, but it's kind of like that. Hey, I'm an upbeat guy. Don't worry, everything's gonna be all right. That thing, and then you're like, I know you lah. You're not like that.
Yeah.
I know you. I got drink with you before. I like you know went out with you and all that. Like
It is the personality. We are a personality. We
You have
have.
to
We are a
portray.
character.
Yep.
Actually, when we are on air, especially when you are doing like the breakfast show or the drive time show, because those are the two most.
it's the heaviest,
most traffic
it's the
lights,
heaviest of the
suppose.
day.
Yeah, it's prime time.
Yeah.
Prime time radio. But in between, then that's another story. You're not allowed to have a personality. I mean, this is what I
man.
was told before, but it's like
There's no off time, man.
no, you only can go on air 15 seconds, and it's just like talk about the song, talk about the artist, and then just play
Sure.
play the music.
Perhaps
So
it
there's-
takes away from the primetime faces, right? Maybe it's too many personalities to keep track of. Is that why you potentially don't want more faces?
because they want to only highlight the prime time slots.
Yeah, exactly.
So even on those in between shows, they're still pushing the breakfast show. They're still,
right.
Even the
Yeah.
drive time show is pushing the breakfast show because that is the show. Which I'm like, but that's not the only show. You have all the other shows.
Yeah,
you have
yeah.
the other programs. You have other DJs. Wouldn't it make more sense if all the other announcers are also brought up,
Yeah,
also
yeah.
promoted, so that you're not just focusing on just one, you know? So it's the whole thing. So that was... I mean, when I was at Red, that's how it was. That's how it felt. Like everyone,
Let's just
every
pull
person,
everybody
the
together.
whole team. That's why we felt like a family. But now it's like, oh, we're all pushing for the breakfast show. I felt uncomfortable with it because I generally don't. I'm not really that comfortable being in the limelight and all that. So that's why having left, it was just so much more. I felt like I can have my life again.
Right.
You know,
right,
that's
right.
why I just completely left. I completely, no goodbyes, no,
Wow.
I'm going to, no. I just like, boop, decline. I mean, deactivate.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Oh. So 3 years it makes, and then you decided,
Bye bye.
I'm gonna let go of this life. Like, it's just too much.
Well, I mean, my contract ended.
Oh, your contract
You know, my
ended, okay.
contract ended. But I mean, we have a good. But I still do a lot of ads. You know, for.
At least
for
that's one
show.
way, lah. You know, if you do an ad, people know it's an ad.
Yeah.
It's an ad.
Yeah.
It's a paid promotion,
Yeah.
and it ends there. Whatever I do on my free time, is whatever I want to do. At least, like, we're not like Arnold Schwarzenegger or whatever, that you have to maintain a whole lifetime of whatever you need to do in order to maintain that face, right?
Yeah.
So at least if you're a voice actor, it's like, do you prefer to have your identity like
Correct.
separated from
Correct.
that? Yeah.
Yeah. I
think
like
that's
just
the
being
joy.
a voice and any other, you know, and I like coming into the studio and just like not really knowing exactly what I'm doing or what character I'm doing. If it's an Adla, you know, then I'm like, oh, okay, I'm gonna be a makcik today. Oh, I'm gonna be a girl, you know, a young girl today. Or
Hey, she cannot tahan dog, bro.
No, she can, but
I thought she allergic to dust and stuff. Pets.
pet dander, yeah, I'm allergic.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, it's a whole different thing.
how did he get in?
Yeah, it's like so quiet.
It's just boom. I thought it got ghost some shit there. See the
I
dog.
thought what goes to I
didn't
couldn't I couldn't
even
see the
know-
dog.
I
see the
didn't
dog.
hear.
Why
I'm
the
like-
hell?
I'm so sorry.
I'm in the corner. I'm fucked.
I thought it was a ghost. Oh, but
Yeah, I thought Jen came in like emergency or something. Then it's just Julio. I'm like,
So
what the
have you
fuck?
done a podcast on ghost stories yet?
No.
Why you got ghost stories?
No, but
Are you a ghost?
Ghost
Check.
stories?
Okay, she's real.
we were not allowed to do ghost stories. On
What?
here,
That'd be
I think
so
that's
entertaining,
fun, bro.
actually.
I will actually watch that shit.
You
man.
know,
Why?
ghost stories. Obviously, we cannot talk about political stuff, religious stuff, anything that was anything to do that was sensitive. We cannot talk about it. In fact, I remember the weirdest thing that we were not allowed to talk about at the time, even though it was like it was happening. The haze.
Why you cannot talk about his?
Don't know.
I don't know, for some reason I thought you were gonna talk about armpits. Like, you know, Malaysia has a censorship against armpits.
What?
Fun fact.
That I did not know.
Yeah.
I
There's
didn't-
no armpits in ads. That's why deodorants, it's always like, whoo, the animation. Yeah. There's no armpits in Malaysia.
God,
You-
tapi it's like clean lah. Cannot
Don't
show hair.
have.
I got see this
Langsung.
I did.
Yeah,
Don't
but it's
have.
coward.
Don't
You're
have.
good.
Yeah. It's
No.
always an animation that blocks
Yeah.
it.
What
Yeah.
the
Why no armpit?
Yeah. I don't know why.
They don't like hair. They don't like armpit
In
hair.
Malaysia, you cannot do comparison brands. So like, let's
Oh,
say
yeah.
like,
Jenama X.
it's always Jenama X, and you can't show armpits. I remember those two because I was in advertising.
No man, Honda City really fucked it up. Honda City, literally the whole official ad was it overtaking or outperforming the Camry, basically all your main staple car brands.
Within the same category.
Yeah,
lah.
no, outside category. Camry and Honda City is two different things, bro.
Oh yeah, Camry is upper class.
Yeah, you're talking about like a
Camry
Accord
is
with a Camry.
Accord. Camry is
yeah,
Accord.
but this one is a Honda City because that's talk lah, right? It's like 252 and then
They like,
yeah.
I don't know.
You
Fucking I'll
guys
rent a
can
Camry.
talk
I love
about
car.
cars with my husband,
Husband?
Rafiq. Yes.
Oh, he's gonna be on the guest on podcast.
But yeah, anyway, comparisons.
Comparison.
Honda
Oh, is
City
it?
really fucked it up lah, that one.
Oh,
They
I
butchered
didn't know
it.
we had no armpit.
But armpit cannot lah. It's overly sexualized.
Why you
Right.
cannot talk? What? Armpit is sexualized?
I don't know. People have a fetish for it.
One thing about like I noticed in the States is that they dare to do like
Comparison. ads.
comparison.
Samsung and Apple is a very common thing. IWC, you know the watch.
Oh yeah.
Schaufsen, IWC Schaufsen. I don't know what the fuck the brand is called lah, but I know IWC is a watch.
Yeah.
So it's an ad of this old man who is the CEO of the IWC. And he goes inside an Apple store and he asks, can you set different time zones? Then the guy in the Apple store was like, oh, it's really easy. You just gotta click it, scroll, turn right, turn left. Oh wait, sorry. Let me just go back again. After that, the guy IWC. It just tells you the time. You know, but if you think about it, it's so like it's not really classy for me. Have you seen the Samsung where Apple has the notch, the black color notch.
Yeah.
Right.
Then the guys that go inside the Apple store have a notch haircut. Have you seen that? Yeah,
I've seen
they
that.
do a lot of those comparison ads, but
Right.
Malaysia is not allowed. It's just
Yeah.
Jenama X. I didn't know that Honda did it.
Or
but
even medical brands, they will go up against. They'll do a comparison
Oh.
thing against medical brands. Yeah.
Wow.
In the States.
Oh,
it's
in the States, yeah lah,
wow,
in the
so
States.
brand
Yeah.
Yeah.
to do that.
And then you see TV ads and radio ads about medicine, about prescribed medicine.
Yes.
A lot more often than you do here. I don't even think you
Exactly.
hear anything here.
Exactly.
The only ad I see is Panadol or Active Fast.
No, there's another one I forgot. There's a Malay guy. He's damn buff, and he's like, oh, sakit kepala. Then he eats something that's like a Panadol.
But I only see as that. Other than that, I don't see anything else.
Yeah.
But why you can't say haze? I don't understand why.
Yeah, why haze?
I don't know.
It's probably
I
a
don't
political
know.
thing.
Oh, because
Indonesia.
Exactly.
Indonesia? But
Yeah.
Indonesia has nothing to do with Malaysia, what?
No, but it's ties, and then the government is basically okay. So Astro is like controlled by the government in some sense.
Okay.
They can't play certain movies.
They are apolitical.
yeah.
Apolitical. So they're not
Kononnya lah, they
supposed to
say.
be they're supposed to be on neutral ground. So just to be safe, we do not
Yeah.
talk about any sensitive
Because you don't want to be in
subjects.
trouble.
So
what?
like
Yeah.
we are all having haze and you in the morning. So it's a beautiful weather today. And
It sounds like a deep breath.
Let's all enjoy fresh air and stay tuned to the breakfast show. Welcome, my name is
It felt
Adila.
like that. It
Yeah?
felt like that. No, I wasn't Adila on air. I was Dilly.
Oh, Dilly? What?
Yeah.
You change your name. So you're telling me
Dilly is my nickname.
Ian and Arnold is not Ian and Arnold. What's the real name though?
Ronaldo.
No.
Whoa.
So
Yeah.
Every-
So yeah. I mean, I would have loved to have talked about at the time the GST. You know.
Oh yeah, that was
how-
a hot ass topic, man.
See, it's that's the thing. Like, it's a hot ass topic outside. Everyone is talking about it
you can't
outside,
talk
but
about
we
it.
can't talk about it on air. We are an entertainment show.
That's so
We are-
restrictive as fuck, man.
Yeah. So a lot. I mean,
I sorry, this is completely sidetracked, right? But when I met you the first time and I listened, you have an American accent. Is there a reason? And now that you mentioned America, I'm curious because when I met you the first time, you had an American accent, and it's a very distinct one because I feel that if you're from,
she's a voice actor. She can give you Japanese accent if you want, bro.
I know, but naturally when you have a conversation, that accent is the most prominent, and it's not east and not west.
right. Yes. Well, I wasn't born in Malaysia.
Where were you
I
born?
was born in the UK.
Oh.
So
See your
I was-
IC?
Boleh.
Jesus.
Don't say 7-1. If you see 7-1 in the
Oh.
middle, then you
You're
know.
born in outside.
Yeah.
Oh.
Outside of
Oh,
Malaysia.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
That's cool.
The middle number.
You are what? 14.
Then.
Yeah, 10
Then
is KL.
that's the
No, 10 is
same.
Subang actually.
Budak
Selangor.
Selangor.
Oh, you are 10.
Yeah,
Mine
we're
is-
born SGMC.
Mine is
Oh, that was
14.
14 lah. 14 KL.
Oh, you are 71.
71.
Lain-lain lah.
No.
Oh, so you're born in the UK.
I was born in the UK, but I left when I was 6. So, and then we moved to Saudi Arabia. That's when I was sent to an international school there. So that's why,
explains
hence,
the
so
American
for some weird reason, I started off with a British accent, and then when I went to Jeddah, then
know Jeddah.
for some weird reason, I switched to this one. So, but it really comes in handy because when I do ads or corporate videos, I can
You can
switch.
switch.
So, when you come back to Malaysia and then you listen to our Manglish accent, how do you felt?
It's normal, huh?
You're like, wow.
Normal, because I spoke like that with my dad, ma.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that was
Okay.
another thing. Like,
Okay.
for some reason, when I spoke to my dad, I sounded like him. I would speak Malay, macam,
Mix,
macam like
mix,
Orang
cham,
Melayu speak Malay lah, So I could also do that, talk like that lah.
I think it's something that a lot of people around the world they can't do, but a lot of Malaysians can.
We're very good at that.
We are very
We're
adaptable people. Yeah. I actually heard your
Most of
accent,
us.
and I thought that you studied in the Midwest in the US because in Ohio, they actually train their journalists to eliminate accents.
Right,
So in the East Coast, they have a very heavy New York accent,
right.
like Pennsylvania.
Coffee.
Coffee. I get a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
What's
Yeah.
coffee? Coffee.
Coffee.
Yeah, it's
Coffee is coffee.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very
Coffee. It's
yeah.
not
Coffee.
coffee, it's coffee.
Yeah.
I
And
don't
if you go to Boston as well, it's very
The
like
Bronx, it's very
I just
different.
know Canada is get out.
Yes.
Get out.
Yeah.
Get out.
Get
yeah.
out.
Get it.
Like, if you go to California on the West Coast, they have a very different accent as well.
Yeah.
They don't drag it as much, but East Coast drags a lot. So Ohio, they eliminate no matter where you're from. So I think Ohio State University is the one that eliminates your accent, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Yeah. So I thought you studied in Ohio. I was like, wow, that is a very, very strong eliminated accent trained thing.
Well, we have to actually, because I've had
Oh. Sorry. You
Okay.
can continue. It's okay.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the paperwork is actually
the
important.
paperwork is important. I mean, it's good to have that the bank slip. I mean, if you
It's
want to
the
get
papers,
that loan,
man.
it's the papers. They want the records. They want to see that you owe money. That's the weird thing about banks. If they see that you actually are tengah berhutang, it's a good thing for them.
Yeah.
Then you will get the loan. But if you got a clean record, like no, you're not in their system, they'll think that
Skepticism arises. They're like, whoa.
skepticism, and then because they don't know what your
Background.
your background is,
Yep.
and they think, oh, maybe this is a fake
Account
account or
person,
something like that. Yeah, I mean,
Yep.
you can have that conversation with Rafik later on, but yeah, so that's
Where were
something that
we?
you have to think about.
Wow,
Before we
interesting.
talk.
We were talking about Ohio and elimination of
Oh,
accents.
I remember Ohio.
But off camera, just for context, we were talking about how you should
Difficult
work.
it is.
How difficult it is to be on yourself doing freelance prior to getting a full-time job. So at least people are listening.
Yeah,
They
what
will
is guy
know.
talking about some stuff. Okay,
Yeah.
back to Ohio.
Born in UK, what was it again?
Born
yeah,
in
so no, you were saying
international
that,
school?
yeah, international school, and then
Journalism and stuff.
but I found out that it actually helps to have a neutral
Accent.
and not to be too to have a too strong of an American accent or too
Yeah, yeah.
strong of a British accent, and you're kind of like in the middle, because that's what I get asked that as well. You know, in when I do voiceover work,
Right.
that's what they want. Can you be a bit more neutral? So not too strong here, not too strong there. So
Yep.
yeah.
Yep. Yeah,
so
yeah.
it actually helps.
Yeah,
Very
man.
difficult to do, I find.
It is sometimes.
Yeah,
sometimes.
I find. To do a neutral
Yeah.
accent.
Oh, to do a neutral
What's
accent.
a neutral accent?
Not that.
Yeah. That was
This
very
is-
strong one, your accent.
Yeah, this is Malaysian.
This is Malaysian.
That's
How do you
very
neutral
Malaysian.
Let's see, this is Malaysian. That intonate that tone
This
is Malaysian.
To speak without an accent is to eliminate every drag, any lag.
You sound like some Tron fella.
Yeah. But you want to do that and have intonation as well.
Neutral?
Yeah.
It's tough, man.
It's difficult. It's
Sorry.
very
It is.
challenging.
It
Yeah.
is.
Neutral. Cakap welcome to Malaysia in neutral.
I think this whole time she's been speaking
Yeah.
mixed neutral and
Yeah.
Malay.
God, ah.
Yeah.
Malaysian.
Yeah.
I think fundamentally the test is
California accent.
if I were no,
That's the most neutral lah.
if I were to listen to this person speak and I cannot guess where this fellow is from,
I'll guess California.
then that person probably has a neutral accent.
Yeah.
That to me
Yeah.
is the benchmark.
Yeah.
If I truly cannot tell, even within like a continental perspective,
So you have to ask. You're like,
Yeah.
where'd you study?
yeah, where are you from? That's how you
Yeah.
know. That's how you know.
Yeah.
Can you show me a neutral accent?
She's been
This
speaking
whole
with a neutral
time
accent.
I've been doing like it. I
Yeah.
don't know. Have I?
Yeah, I mean mix
Yeah,
macam
I
lah.
mean,
You
mix lah.
like sometimes when you would go into the Malay accent, you would
Yeah.
be like, dah
Then
lah
it-
macam mana.
yeah lah.
Then you would go back to your
Yeah.
because I know that's your primary accent.
Alright, I'm gonna go neutral accent as well.
You just didn't.
Okay.
You didn't.
This is not neutral. This is not neutral, man. This is not neutral.
No. The fact that you just said meh is not neutral.
Ew! Okay, I'm gonna go all neutral right now.
Unusual. That's unusual.
But I had a hard time actually when I first came back to Malaysia because of my. It was strong at the time because fresh from an
International
international school, and then my BM was atrocious. Memang like pelat.
Interesting.
So yeah, the kids.
They're not too fond of it. I
Not
think
too fond.
a lot of locals actually detest it when you have an accent, especially.
you lansi lah, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, cakap dengan slang apa then?
Yeah. Because that's the only slang I know. What the fuck?
You put cakap, you put slang kan? Bapa.
So, but I get it because even I get like, when I hear kids nowadays and they have this strong American accent, like, oh my god, I'm like, like this. I know why I sound like this. Why you sound like that?
Aku from international school.
Hey, I'm 71. Hey, can you do like, those black people accent? Like, no, you didn't. That type of stuff.
Oh no, you didn't.
Black, bro.
No lah, not
You
that
like
them
Destiny
lah.
and stuff,
No
wait.
lah, no lah. No. I mean, they're like a completely different. They have their own style, their own you cannot
Yeah.
That's not.
It's an
something-
attitude,
I
man.
kind of like it
Yeah,
though.
I like it too. I like it a
damn like it, bro.
lot.
It's an
Yeah.
embodiment.
Yeah.
It's not just an accent. It's
Exactly.
more. It's a
It's a whole
full
culture.
Thing.
It's
Yeah.
a feeling.
Yeah,
It's just the feeling.
I like it though. I damn like it though.
Cool, right?
Yeah, damn
Very
cool.
cool,
Like my
yes.
condo got a few black people. Sometimes we talk. I like, damn bro, the way you guys talk, damn interesting.
You know when you're truly accepted when they call you a nigger, then you're like, I feel it. Like Spider-Man.
Oh, the the black.
Just go ahead and hang around outside Pearl Point for like 2 weeks.
Oh, black. Bro, like talk about
That
black
one-
people, bro.
Different.
Oh, so post international school and then you came back to Malaysia after Jeddah, is it?
Yeah, and I came back alone without my family.
Oh,
So
what
that was
the
like a
hell?
whole different, they were still in Jeddah, and I had to deal with having to be this lone person lah, living with my grandparents at the time, and then having to suddenly be thrown into a national school, Sekolah Kebangsaan.
Oh.
And then like
How old are you?
Yeah.
I started 13.
Well, I'm
I
sure
was
that
already in
is,
Form 2, by the way.
confirm
in-
everybody will be like, hey, you lancy.
No, I was able. The thing is, I was very oblivious
Oh,
to
okay.
that in the
Sure.
beginning. Like I was just like,
It's a
I'm just
beautiful
gonna
world.
make the most of it. Like it's a different. You were different.
Oh, tough, man.
It was very tough.
It was tough,
very
man.
tough towards the end. I think that's why I kind of like blanked out my high school, the whole of my high school, years, because I just don't want to relive it. But it wasn't that horrible. I still have friends from that time, and
Yeah.
I was able to adapt. That's what I found out, because I'm what they call a third culture kid. So as a third culture kid, because you were born in a different culture, but you're from a different culture, you're raised in a different culture, you're a third culture kid. We
Dude,
have
that
no
sounds very fucking
choice.
familiar, right? Really.
You have no choice but to learn to adapt. So I learned to adapt.
So did they give you a nickname?
No, I was still Adila at the time.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I wasn't like bullied or anything like that, but I could tell that, there were some people who were just uncomfortable, but I managed to use it to my advantage. I would go into the debate team, I would go into the English elocution contest. So suddenly people would like look at me like, oh, okay, I'm representing the school. Like, oh, I want to be, so it was managed to make it work for me. But
Yeah.
it was hard. It was hard because I didn't have
Kids
my
are just
family
mean,
support.
man. Kids are just
Yeah.
mean. Like kids, I think in general, what they don't know, they just don't like.
Yeah,
So I
Yeah.
think you get shit no matter what the fuck you do.
correct.
Like the fact that you're a bit different.
If you're different,
That's
Okay, orang asing.
yeah.
and they
yeah.
will treat you like that.
Yeah.
You know,
They isolate you.
Kids,
They
man.
make you feel like shit.
I think it's worse now.
Oh, definitely.
Oh,
Right?
Probably.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You
Because
know?
there's social media.
I was just gonna say,
Yeah. You're judged even by like your selfie, I think.
yeah.
If you're a girl.
Oh dear.
Yeah, I think if you're a girl, appearances definitely for sure
Yep.
judged. Like, what? That girl wear like that? What?
Wow,
Like,
slut.
you know, I feel actually most pain, right, for Malay girls. Because Malay girls, right, especially even when we were growing up, no social media, maybe Friendster lah,
I think
if
it
you
was
count
okay,
that.
but there was no issue.
No, bro. Like, those girls who tak pakai tudong, right, kena one, you know.
I thought-
They are outcasts, dude.
Oh yeah, since you're here, correct me if I'm wrong. Right? I thought for girls, Malay girls, right, they can not wear tudong until they really want to accept the Allah, and then once they accept, they got to start wearing tudong, right? At a certain, that is based on their discretion, right? Or
I used to think that wearing a tudung was a choice as well.
Ah.
I used to think that, oh, this is my choice to put it on or to take it
Yeah.
off and everything. But because prior to this, so when I was on air and everything, I did not wear
Oh, is it?
tudung. Yeah. I only put this on when I was 40, and soon after my mom passed away.
Sorry?
So but that was like 3 years ago, but that was the start of my spiritual journey. So when I put this on, it was also because I wanted to be closer to my maker, and I wanted to really practice my religion as best as I could, and the Quran does say that the women have to cover up. You have to cover up.
but they did say
But
like,
it doesn't say. But the thing is, it doesn't say specifically. But it's in Arabic. The way they speak. People are just too focused on like, oh, but it doesn't say you have to wear hijab. It doesn't say you have to cover your head. But I mean, I'm not even going to go into all of that.
that's a different
That's
conversation.
a whole different conversation.
Yes.
But I know that when I put it on, this is an ikhlas thing. This is sincere. I'm doing this not for anybody else,
But for yourself.
No, not even for me,
Also
but
God.
for God. Yes,
Oh.
I'm doing
Okay.
this to earn God's pleasure. But I don't want to speak on behalf of everyone about it.
Oh, for sure.
So because it's their journey.
Yeah.
So but I would also advise people to not judge someone who puts it on or takes it off. Do not judge them, because you do not know what they're going through.
We don't, man.
You do
We
not
don't.
know their journey. You do not know what their reasons are behind it. Accept them for who they are
It's true.
for now, right?
But
now.
kids are kids, man. They fucking
I
brutal,
think it's
man.
still, I still remember last time we did a podcast where there was this Malay girl at the bus stop near where Tudong. One guy just come and slap her.
What the fuck, really?
We did a podcast what?
What?
Yeah.
Why?
Oh yeah.
Because she was wearing a tudong.
Yeah,
She
yeah,
straight up, pow! Gave her a good slap.
But that one is just like I'm not condoning it for sure. Like, I'm just saying like it happens. But I think going back to the kids thing, for me at least, what I observed at the time, like girls who didn't wear tudong and who are Malays, they sure kena. They're like, tengok lah. You can hear lah. You can hear the whispers behind the classroom. I can hear it at least.
That's just as bad as someone saying that, oh God, she's wearing a tudung, she must be so kampung.
Yes.
It's both. You're being
Yeah.
judgmental
Both
either
sides,
way,
yeah.
both sides.
Yeah.
So
that's
that's
sad.
not what it's about.
That's like Indian guy.
It's tough,
Apa ni?
Yes.
Or some, like, yeah.
I think it's part of being in Malaysia lah, actually. Like you grow up, right, and then like
Malaysians are very judgmental.
they
We
damn
are
judgmental,
very
man.
judgmental.
Fucking no, that's what I'm saying. No matter what, right? Accent, color of skin,
Pakai tudung
hairdo.
ketat, hair,
Yeah, even
Slipper.
I know a girl who is
I wear flipper. Why so skate? I wear Birkenstock. Not bad. They're like, wow.
Yeah.
Not bad. I go to my college. I know my college. I won't say the college name lah. Okay. I wear flipper. Tak boleh masuk. Slipper. I wear Birkenstock. Please enter.
That's fucked up. That's fucked up. I would find an in between to know where the threshold is.
Bro, Birkenstock
Yeah.
is the threshold.
Is there a level cheaper than that but still acceptable?
Bata.
Hey dude, Bata shit not bad.
Bata is good, bro.
Bata
Bata is
okay
good.
apa?
Yeah.
But it's still slipper, bro. Slipper so they judge you, bro. Nigga.
it's like that lah. I think it's just
We're
it's
judgmental.
multicultural.
We complain too much.
We
We're
complain
just
a lot.
like, oh my God.
I complain a lot.
But you know, it's funny we talk about complaining because I have friends who are in Japan, and when you ask them like, oh, how's your job going?
It's nice.
He's like, it's good.
Kalau kat sini like that lah.
Yeah, but over here we're very open with it. I actually really enjoy that because
Right.
you can. I think we complain a lot,
Yes.
for sure, but
Yes.
actually deep down we appreciate it.
Appreciation.
We appreciate it, but we appreciate it in a very like Asian father way, like okay lah. But actually, I really like it lah.
Those people who are judgmental, I cannot help but think that they wouldn't have come up with that opinion on their own. It would have
Molded,
been something
skewed.
that was molded or that
molded.
they were raised
Influenced.
up. I mean, I remember someone telling me about how like her two kids prior to going into kindergarten, they didn't have any questions or any opinions about someone who looked different
Yeah,
from
yeah,
them
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. Then when they went into kindergarten,
Suddenly,
oh yeah, then they had an opinion about this person.
Yeah.
So
Strange.
it's shaped
where
strange.
does it come from? It's not
So it
Yeah.
starts from
on their own. They'll
kindergarten.
be
Young is.
It's education.
in a
lah.
way.
It has to be nurtured, right? It has to be nurtured into
Yes,
you.
yes.
It's not so much inherent within you to be.
Oh, it's
Yeah,
definitely
no, it's
not.
not
It's
inherent.
definitely-
Yeah, no.
It's not like a cat. You know, when a cat sees a bird, it goes like.
Or chicha.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
and you're
know.
wondering what is going on.
Yeah, you don't even teach the cat that. There's no like mother cat that goes like, hey, look at that bird, and you.
Yeah.
Bro, cats don't do that, man.
Yeah.
It just goes like. I remember.
Yeah.
Sure.
I remember the
know.
old way.
The primitive side of you.
Yeah.
Yeah, but humans are definitely just a product of like nurture, man.
Yeah.
Just like tell you like don't hang out with him lah. Why?
Okay.
You know lah. And then it's like whoa.
But do I know?
You know lah. Who?
But at 13 years old, you won't question that, right? It's like,
Correct.
oh, you know, like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That one I know.
Enlightenment.
And then you
I mean, like, I remember, I had no idea that the word at that time when I went to high school, at 13 years old, at that time, I had no idea that the word kaling was a very sensitive word.
Oh.
And I just assumed it meant Indian because that's how I remember my mom using that word. I'm like,
I'm still surprised you're still alive.
I know. Hey, my best friend's Indian, okay? But it was just the way, the way they said it. It was like, oh, this is normal. Oh, dia tu kaling. I'm like, okay, I'm assuming that means that it's another way of saying Indian, but I didn't know that at the time
Negative
that
connotation.
yeah, it's kind of like nigger.
Yes.
You don't know what it's attached to.
Yes, you don't know the historical
connotations to it, and then so I don't know why I went and asked my
What did
my
you do?
classmate. No, I asked my classmate. I even remember her name, Pon. She's a very nice girl, very and everything. I said, "Oh, Pon, awak keling eh." And now when I remember. I'm like, oh my god.
What did he do?
She cried.
Oh shit, she cried.
You're so mean. It's like,
so innocently.
And she cried.
And she cried. And then the other friends were like, kind of like, like looked at me like, what did you say? Like, do you know what you just said?
But
Like,
how old were you?
I was 13.
Oh, 13.
it's like going to.
But remember, I just came from,
Yeah.
you know, I didn't. I was not raised in the Malaysian culture.
That is so funny. But it's so sad to know that. And I think she must have hated you after that.
No lah.
No, we were still okay after that because I was
Is it?
like, I
Oh, you didn't
apologized.
know,
Like,
you
I'm so sorry. What? Yeah. So, but we were still okay after that. But
That is
that
so
really
funny.
woke me up to like, wow, you know.
Shit.
Wait,
Yeah.
but talking about that, what does curling actually mean? I have no idea, bro. And I'm Indian. I'm the receiving
I
end.
think it's tin mine worker, right?
Is
Like
it?
it's like hard worker. I think so.
I was told that it was because of
Google.
the bells that they used to wear.
Oh,
in
is it?
vehicles and-
Oh.
So when
Oh, I didn't know.
I don't know now. I don't know.
I mean-
I'm like, someone look it up. And
No one has actually called me curling
But
before
that's what I
lah.
was
Apa ni?
told.
Maybe I heard lah. No idea what apa ni is, by the way.
It
You know
doesn't
what's
have the same.
Curling.
It doesn't have the same intenseness as like kau ni Melayu, you know.
Yeah.
It's not the same. But when you were to say that, it would be like so like derogatory for
Yeah.
some
like-
reason.
What is for Chinese?
Ching Chong, yeah.
Is it Ching Chong?
I think it's Ching Chong, right?
I know in the US it's called chink.
Chink, I
Yeah,
know.
you're fucking chink.
Yeah.
China lah. In Malaysia, it's China lah, bro. No,
Is it?
China. I think it's
That's China babi,
it's
right?
just China babi, you know.
I think it's China
Then Melayu is just the Melayu lah, you know. I think that's
Melayu, is it belacan or
the.
something?
Bukan belacan. I don't think it's belacan lah. I don't think it's belacan. Let me just.
I don't know. I don't.
Oh,
I
kamu
don't
set up.
I think if it's not Melayu, maybe it's babi.
No, I know it. For Malays, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. It's kurang ajar.
No, Quran no, it's not Quran.
What?
Because
saying?
because I know that I don't know who told me this. I forgot. Right? I think I was like from 4.
I think
or
Quran
5,
Ajar is super.
it's super derogatory for
You say
for
Quran Ajar
Muslims.
gone.
Yeah, because it's like saying your parents didn't do a right job raising
Teaching you.
Quran Ajar.
I would say derogatory.
Because like
but
sometimes I see the Malay
Yeah, it's not
guys-
really
I
derogatory
use
lah.
it.
Oh, is it?
I mean, I thought ajar. But it's not. It doesn't have the same
Yeah, connotation is killing.
connotation or impact as saying
I
calling
have
someone
no-
a chink or calling someone kaling or
Yeah, I
or
I think
whatever.
I have no idea what's Chinese
So-
and Malay. Like, Indian maybe Keling got Chinese what?
I don't know. I don't know.
have no idea.
I know China babi lah.
I
I
mean,
know
that's-
China
Yeah,
babi.
that one normal.
That's the
Yeah.
It's
standard
so
stuff,
normal
mate.
that we're like.
It's
that
kinda
you're
funny
like,
now. Yeah.
You're like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
You know, so-
I read this whole fucking article. It doesn't tell me what curling means.
oh,
So what does Keling means?
All I've learned so far is that Mahathir used it once in a speech. Which is really not helpful in understanding why, but
Wow.
it's really a big wow lah.
Wow.
Yeah, 2018 he said it. Fuck.
What 2018?
Is it Keling?
Pretty
And he's
recent.
still alive? Damn. Well, if Bate used it, you're fine. Okay. Yeah.
no, but I'm just saying that again. It's like it's because it's something nurtured or it's something that you grew up with.
Yeah.
You know, it's not something that you.
You inherit
You
when
inherit.
you're
Still
born.
come
When
and
you're
baby
born.
cried, man. It's so funny, bro.
Oh man.
You
Her name is
lo-
Bomb lah.
Name
Bomb,
bomb.
bomb, right?
Pon.
Oh,
Pon.
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 Yeah.
Pon.
Not Devi. You
Sorry,
said
yeah.
Devi. What the fuck, Devi?
I'm so sorry. I'm still.
So standard Indian.
Yeah, lah. That's
And you're Indian.
No, that's why he can do it. We can't do
Yeah,
it.
I can do it.
We
Yeah,
can't do
But
it.
that's so funny, man.
Yeah.
Oh.
I say that a lot as well. Like, I'm Malay, and that's why I can say it. You know, that's why I can say what I want to say against the Malays because I'm Malay, so it's okay. But you know,
Yeah, man. Wait, to go back to the career, I know we sidetracked.
yeah, we
so
did.
much.
Didn't we?
Yeah.
We sidetracked so much.
That-
But it was
that-
fun.
that's
It was
because-
hilarious
That's
though.
the real
I don't
conversation.
regret it at all.
Because
It was fucking hilarious.
We are live.
Where did we start? I think we stopped at after Mix FM. How did you go into voice acting? That's the
Because
thing.
she had an
Ads
accent.
and
No,
all
then
that.
you brought in the accent. And then we
No.
went.
Yeah. Okay. So because I became a radio announcer, that's when I actually started getting more voiceover work.
Oh,
because
okay.
then the station like, oh, she can do voiceover work. Oh, she can, because you hear the radio announcers actually reading all those live reads
yeah.
and,
The
and
ads.
internal ads and stuff like that. So then they found out that I could do it. So that's when I started getting more VO work.
This is post rejecting your contract, or is it like during?
This is during.
Oh, during,
This was
okay.
during when I was still on air.
Oh, okay.
And then, but prior to my contract ending, I was already feeling I really need to quit. I want to get out, but I don't know how, because I felt bad wanting to resign, because I felt kind of obligated to them, because they were the ones who took us out of Red and offered us a position at Mix FM, and all the benefits and stuff like that. Free Astro at the time.
Big deal. Man. Shit, that time is a big deal, man.
Yeah.
All channels.
After that, I had to pay 100 plus. Like, oh, painful.
It is still painful until today.
But now under YouTube and Netflix, that's the thing.
Yeah. So, but I knew, I'm like, I don't want to go into corporate, because I've been there before. I don't want to go and do another job just for the sake of having a salary.
Yeah.
That was my main thing. But what do I really want to do? And then all I could think of was like, I just want to do voiceover work. I just want to do it full time. But I was worried about whether or not I could sustain myself.
Stability is a big thing that
Exactly.
you give up.
Talking about sustainable, right? How much does a voice acting actually?
There's a rate card.
A rate? Oh yeah, a rate.
There's
card.
a rate card.
I can't tell you how much we earn, because it's different for
Subjective.
everyone. Yeah, it's very subjective.
How
but
about remember you did that chocolate drink earlier?
That was long ago though.
that was so
That's a
long
jingle.
ago.
But they have a rate card. I can give the rate card. I can't
Yeah.
disclose it.
Oh, you can't disclose lah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's personal lah.
Right? Can I disclose it? Actually, it's to the public.
It's public information. I mean, it's the market rate.
Okay,
Yeah.
so what's the standard market rate for a voiceover?
For a typical 30-second ad that you hear on radio, it's 600 ringgit.
So like, hey,
30 seconds.
she just hey, hello, 30 seconds. Thank you, I make money.
Yeah.
But the thing about this job is that it is an issue. We don't get paid on the spot. I mean, not everyone gets paid on the spot.
Oh, yeah,
Like
it's like
6 months later.
30 days.
Yes, 30, 60, 90. I still have someone.
Haven't
I still
paid you
have
yet.
someone owing me 1,200 from 2 years ago.
From 2 years ago?
1,600 from over a year ago.
I still have a guy haven't paid me 1,006 3 years ago.
Oh.
It's all the nature of
I need to report police lah. This guy. I
It's
need to
freelance
report
work. That's the symptom of freelance work.
That's- yeah.
Chasing for money.
Yes.
It's a big
yes.
problem.
It's a Malaysian thing.
Yes.
It's a Malaysian thing.
Malaysian
it's
thing,
fucked up.
right? So yeah, so that is.
But I just want to clarify. I paid you on time.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much.
In like 2 days. I'm like, dude,
Thank you so much.
I rushed finance. I was like,
I wish I had more clients like you.
I was like, yo, she did so much. Okay, you do it.
You know what's the best when people pay you on the day itself?
Yeah lah.
Like a few times after film MC years, your cash I'm like
COD.
COD. Call of Duty. Final word, the full stop here. You go.
By the way, Call of Duty Modern Warfare was the best game, changed my mind. Okay, anyways.
Yes. So.
Cash on demand. Yeah.
Yeah. So what I did was, when I was still working, I gave myself an amount to save up. I gave myself okay, how much do you need? So I saved up that amount, and then I was able to save it again. So at least by the end of my term, I had a year's worth of income.
Okay. So it's like that safety salary.
That was my safety net,
Cash
because
thing.
I knew, because I was gonna go into voiceover work like full on with nothing else.
Yep.
So all I had was my financial, emergency fund.
Your emergency fund.
Yeah. So, but that helped. It helped me. It helped reduce the anxiety, because that was what I was thinking. Like, what are you worried about? What is the feeling that you're having, and why are you having this feeling? And it was just really about the financial stability. Can I sustain myself? Okay. So what are you going to do to sustain yourself while you try and get yourself out there? Make sure that you have your emergency fund.
Yep.
It just made sense. That's the most practical thing to do. And I advise anyone who wants to get out of a full-time job and go into something else or do something else, to make sure that you start your savings now. And I even have a system. As a freelancer, I stopped saving because I wasn't sure, when my next paycheck is going to come in, how much am I going to get,
Right.
right? So I joined a course called the Millionaire Mindset, and it taught me a basic system, the jar system. So you allocate money for different
jars.
jars. It can be a
Buckets
bank
or whatever,
account,
yeah.
it can be an envelope or whatever. So, and because of that, and I adapted it to suit myself, during the MCO, when I for the 2 months I didn't get any income.
Oh shit.
But I was okay,
Because
because I already prepared myself prior to that.
Yeah.
So
It's good in that sense. It's a
Yeah.
good habit. You know MAE? Maybank, you know MAE?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they have a tabong thing now as well. It's pretty
Right.
sick. Yeah.
How does it work?
Dude, MAE is the shit, man. MAE, right, is like, you know how I discovered MAE? It was like those cheesy ads on teaching how to save. I'm like, how fucking stupid ad is this? And I was watching the ad, and I was like, wow, actually, it's really well done in the sense of the user experience. So I downloaded it, and like there's this circle thing that shows you how much you've spent. Like
Right. Oh,
I saw that,
40%
I saw.
food, 30% bills, etc., etc.
Okay, that's good information.
And on top of that, when you get your salary, you can even like auto deduct to go to a tabong, which is very similar to the bucket thing.
Okay.
So you can set different tabongs like a travel tabong or emergency
Exactly.
tabong. Yeah. So I think it's a very it's good practice in that sense.
We are not sponsored by Maybank, by the way.
Yeah,
But you can, Maybank, you can.
They spent 3 years building that product.
You spend 3
Oh
years.
wow, 3 years.
3 years.
Oh, no.
Yeah. I mean, I work in an e-wallet lah, so we hear about
Oh, he
it.
goes to
Right.
Shopee, by the
Yeah.
way.
Right.
Yeah.
So I work in the e-wallet space in Shopee. So it's
I've actually done some Shopee ads.
Oh really?
Oh,
Yes,
shit.
I have. Let me
Yeah.
look them up.
Have you seen the latest 12/12 Pachukang one?
Oh god,
Yeah. Oh my gosh. How much do you pay him?
a lot.
Even I don't want to know.
I mean, Shopee. Shopee.
Yeah.
That was the other one.
I remember the first Shopee ad was Cristiano. Download Shopee.
Yo, that.
No, lah, it's not the first.
Yo,
No,
damn,
it's not the
rich,
first.
right? You paid find Ronaldo to do that.
Yeah.
Stupid, yeah. Play Blackpink also, dude.
Oh yeah.
You guys have so much money.
Yeah. Too much.
Also, you did ads for Shopee as well.
I did. I'm trying to look for it now. Want to see if I can find it. Like, where did I put it?
Damn man.
Yeah.
Do you think you would ever do freelance?
Yeah, I would.
Yeah.
I would.
I'm so terrified of doing freelance, man.
But, I mean,
I
not,
feel
not
you.
full time. Not
I
full-time.
feel you.
Not full time. Yeah.
I mean, I get that feeling of that fear, that anxiety of doing freelance work. But like I said, I mean, for me, it was preparing yourself
For that.
Because that's your biggest fear, like financial stability.
Yeah. No, it's because I eat too much.
What?
Yeah, man.
What?
You should see my MAE breakdown. You know, I was talking about the breakdown.
Yeah.
Mine's like 70% food. I eat out so much. I love food, man. I even buy groceries. Like, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna make this recipe. I need this. Then I'm like, shit, it's like $200. Forget it, I'm just gonna make it.
Yeah, groceries are expensive
Yeah,
these days.
Yeah, they are.
But
you-
I can show you. I can show you what this jar system that I use. You know, because I do that. I just like, you need to do this. I wished someone had taught me this when I was younger, and
I know. It's a running topic in Yamcha Sessions. We always talk about education and how like we never.
No one teaches this in school. They always they want us to get good grades,
Results.
good results,
But
but
you need to
then
learn about life too,
exactly you go out there. They don't teach you about once you do get a job and you do get a salary, how are you going to manage it
That's
properly?
so important.
Exactly.
How the hell is that not taught?
And also, like, no one teaches us about taxes. We have to figure it out ourselves. So
You know, right? One day I came back home.
right.
You get
Jen said, "There's a letter for you." I'm like,
thanks.
then I opened the letter, right?
From
It
Eddie.
looks so ghetto, It's like big red text, Sendiran Berhad,
Oh,
and it says
okay.
you owe money. And I'm like, it's not in an envelope. It's just a folded paper put in between my gate. And I'm like, the fuck is that? So I read it, and it's like you owe 128 ringgit to do this. Pay buyer this. Then I'm like,
That's the income tax, right?
no, it's not. So I took a photo of it.
Right.
I sent it to my dad. I was like, Dad, do you need to pay this? Then my dad, he just ignored me for like damn long. After like 2 hours, he's like, you need to pay. Then I was like, how? Why? He was like, it's basically your indoor water bill. I'm like, I pay for my water bill. He's like, no, this is sewage bill.
Yeah, separate.
Bruh, I didn't know you had to pay indoor water, bro. I was like, I'm not gonna pay this guy. I'm not gonna pay this guy. Then I called the guy and he was like, yeah, you need to pay. I'm not gonna pay you. Then Jen called and was like, why do you need to pay? Oh, it's a sewage bill. I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
See? Yeah, no one teaches us about these things.
don't know.
We have to learn about it on our own.
Yeah.
And then, or get into trouble first and then find out.
I even went on laoyat.net.
Oh.
One guy owed like 4,000. He didn't pay for years.
Oh my god.
Then he's like, I'm not paying for this. Then they're like, bro, how can lah?
You should go where?
Yeah, people take care of your shit in P. He's like, I don't believe in this Sendiran Berhad, whatever. But it's because Indah Water outsources it to someone that does the
Right.
payment and everything.
It's a debt collecting agency lah.
Right.
How many people
right.
don't know about sewage bills? Inda Water has no time to chase money. They have to hire someone to chase money for
I
them.
really didn't know that thing. I thought
You thought it's like Along.
I know. I thought
it's
we
like.
pay sewage water with the bill IS.
That's why.
Way.
You know how much is water bill?
Yeah. There's like Selangor, there's water.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah.
a stupidly low amount on the water bill.
Yeah,
It's
water
like
bill is
10
6 ringgit.
lah.
6. Mine is 6 ringgit. Okay?
Yep,
I
yep.
think if I'm not mistaken, Selangor is free.
Selangor is free.
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Oh, really?
I've been paid. I had accidentally paid extra, so there was like 160 something in my extra money
Yeah.
advance payment for my Ice Lango bill for years, and then now recently I've noticed that yeah, how come it's being deducted? I never took the money out.
Okay.
Now it's being deducted, little by little.
How
so
much?
it's no, huh?
How
I mean,
much?
it's like 160.
A little,
You're paying
But
6
negligible.
ringgit a month.
Yeah, something like that.
Right.
Yeah, so.
The last few years, lah.
But it's like, why? Why are they deducting money now?
Yeah, I don't know. Oh, I didn't know they did
Because
that.
we need
not.
money, bro. Government need money, CMCO.
Yeah. But you see, these things they don't teach you.
Yeah. Also, the things like wills. You know, there's
Oh,
about
yeah, man.
70. I was told there's like 70 billion of unclaimed
Dead people money, basically.
wealth from, and 90% of it is about like for 90 or 99%, 90 whatever lah. The bulk of it is Muslim Malays. They
Huh?
don't know how to claim. They don't claim.
Oh, so it's like your
will. You don't
your
claim your
mom
will.
or dad passed away, and then they're supposed to give it to you, but then they didn't write a will, so
Yeah.
the money is stuck inside the
Yeah,
bank
it's
somewhere.
stuck. It's always stuck. You know, that's why it's important to have to write down your beneficiaries to make sure that you're updated.
I've been really putting that off. I've been really putting off. my will.
Don't. That's the problem. We keep putting it off. We don't think about it. No one stresses on it. And then when something happens, someone dies, then it's like,
Oh, just
oh,
give me
no.
a signature.
What do we do? No. So
Yeah.
what do we do?
Yeah, man.
And then we can't do anything because there's no paperwork. There's no proof.
Yeah,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So things like that. Life, like you said, life. It's not taught to us.
Hey, dad's pretty good at that shit.
Oh, that's on top of his shit, dude.
Yeah. Our dad's pretty good at that shit.
Right.
Yeah.
Good.
You know, right, there was one time, I don't talk about like how great my dad is
Right.
a lot, but he's really great at being a very observant dad.
Hmm.
So right, last time when I was living back at my old place,
Where?
it's nearby as well.
Oh.
So Andrew and I share the same toilet.
Okay.
And you know there's a spray for you
Yeah.
to wash your ass and all that,
The
right?
bidet.
The bidet. So the spray like eventually got bad because everything goes bad, right?
Right.
Over time.
Yes.
And you know my dad never uses that toilet. He never even walks in. But one day, over dinner, he was like, "Hey, I changed your bidet already."
Wow.
Bro, I'm like, how did you know? Because I just gave up, right? I'm like, you know what? I'll just use it. It's low pressure. I don't care, right? But he just said, "I fixed your bidet already." He's damn attentive, and he knows all the bills. He knows everything. He pays for everything. It's like he's so on top.
Yes.
Man of the house, bro.
He's so on top of that shit.
Men of the house, but having said that, woman of the house also needs
Yeah, yeah,
to know.
yeah.
Men and women of the house.
Everybody should
Yes,
know.
everybody should know. Everybody should be aware. I mean, one of the reasons why I became very, try to be very careful when it comes to my finances and everything is because of what I saw happen to an aunt of mine, a very close aunt of mine. Her husband passed away suddenly. You know, he was supposed to go and have a heart surgery, but then he passed away a few days before.
Oh my god.
Ay, that's sad.
Yeah, diabetes, but heart problems due to diabetes. So, but he really treated everyone as like, okay, you don't have to worry about anything. I'm the man of the house. I'll take care of everything. So you just take care of me and the kids, and you know, just be the good wife, good mother. So she never worried about the finances and never really
Bothered to ask,
bothered
like,
to
no need
really
to,
yeah. So which is very, very dangerous. So now
She's struggling life, of course. To get the.
No, she just had to learn.
I think it's a learning curve.
well, they used to have a big bungalow house, and now she's living in a small apartment. But definitely, her lifestyle completely changed. And then that's when they realized, oh, certain things were still not settled, and certain
Just like that.
payments, and so. But you cannot afford to be ignorant. So especially if you're going to get married, both parties, husband and wife, you have to be transparent, especially when it comes to finances. You should not be, there's no taboo. There should not be any awkwardness or whatever. That's
yeah.
a conversation that needs to be had.
Otherwise, it's just a snowballing effect that becomes
Correct.
fucked up. Like
Correct.
by the second, man.
Correct.
By the second, man. That shit just gets worse.
Yes. You need to know, like, how much do you owe? How much each other, owes. Like, who owes them money. Things like that. It has to be transparent.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
It's true.
It's
It's true. But it's a thing in Malaysia where people don't disclose that shit. It's a thing where like because we've had a couple of guests on before and
Right.
they are into stock investment
Okay.
and they always talk about that element of saving, getting ready before you go and invest
Correct.
and all that. And
Which
all
is
that, right?
important, yeah.
Yeah, and we always touch on the education factor where it's just not
Not
there.
taught, correct.
Yeah, and then in the end you carry on to your marriage, and then it's just
Exactly.
and then nobody talks about it because boyfriend girlfriend don't talk about it.
Yeah.
Then you get married, then you don't talk about it.
Because it's a sensitive topic.
Yeah.
So I mean, like my dad, he was a saver. You know, he very, but his way of saving or his advice for me was like, okay, when you get your money, you close one eye and then save. But you know, I cannot do that because I'm like, I wanna enjoy myself. I wanna treat
I work
myself.
hard,
I
man.
work hard for this, so I need to treat myself, right? But now with the system, I'm able to do that and also still, you know, have an emergency fund, still be able to pay my bills, still be able to whatever. Like even if I wasn't married, I'm still sustainable
Within
on my
your
own.
own, yeah.
Yes, you know. So it's a huge. This is a type of topic that I wish I could have been able to talk about more on air.
Right.
Because I think this is much more relatable
It's
and
so
much
impactful.
more.
Yeah, for
Everyone needs to know this. It's important.
I know, man.
It cannot just be ha ha he he hoo hoo.
Yeah,
on air
about
all
the fact that,
Like
it
Kim
cannot
Kardashian
be-
has another baby, you know.
Yeah, it was.
Northwest.
It's
You
true.
know, it's so like empty. That kind of like there's no substance.
Correct.
So yeah, maybe it's age.
No. 29.
Thank you, thank you.
29. You know, talking about your job, right? What's the best voice over you have done so far?
Your best work?
Your best work.
Or your proudest, I suppose.
Yeah, your proudest.
Animation wise, it would be Saladin.
How do you spell that?
Saladin.
Is that the Malaysia Aladdin or what? Saladin.
Saladin is actually based on an actual Islamic historical figure.
Okay.
Oh!
Yes, but they made it into an animation, but with like really funny, like an adventure.
Oh, I see.
Yes.
Wow, this looks
I
legit,
was
Wow,
Anissa.
this looks like straight up.
Disney.
Yeah.
Pixar
If you
shit.
can find it, because not all of it is on YouTube.
Saladin.
but-
Who did you voice?
Who is Saladin?
Anissa.
You get royalties from it?
No royalties.
Okay, so I can torrent it then. Yeah, okay.
Bandai. Who doesn't torrent? Come on.
Yeah,
You know who
Oh,
doesn't?
this is who you voiced.
Anissa. Yes.
Wow.
So
Oh,
I sound
shit.
like myself, pretty much. But it was just that the script was so cleverly written. It was just the best script.
Wow.
You know, animation-wise. You know, I had so much fun on it. You know Gavin Yap?
I don't.
Gavin Yap.
Yeah.
Gavin.
He's
No,
been
no.
around. He's been in the industry. He's in theater. He's been on, TV.
That's the thing. I think a lot of Malaysians don't know Malaysians. You know what I mean? Is this Gavin Yap?
Yes.
I know Rash Manu.
Wow, damn good looking chap, right? He makes a
Yes.
pasti lah. This one I see his face.
Cross pollination.
When you mix, you have that look, right? Then you're like,
Yeah.
But when you're regular, right? Then you're
Science,
like,
bro.
Yes. Very talented guy. So
He was the main.
He was the main, yeah.
So
So, he
you-
does a lot of
you were
animation work
Alisa.
as well. Anissa.
Anissa.
Yeah. Recently, I was Aliyah for the Agent Ali English dubbing.
Looks like you have a lot of name with A. Lisa. You know? The name's Adila.
Agent
Ah.
what?
Damn.
Agent Ali.
Aliyah.
How you spell that?
Is it
A-L-I?
What was that?
Malaysia.
A-L-I-A, I think.
Is that the Malaysia Detective Conan or some stuff?
It's yeah. Agent Ali, it's very like the kids
Oh, Agent
love it.
Ali.
Lisa Ali sounds familiar.
Yes.
This one.
Yes.
Oh, you
Aliyah.
kind of look like
okay.
her lah. Yeah.
I was also another character called Dayang, Agent Dayang.
So you were in this character. You were voiceovering two characters.
Yes.
It's quite normal though. It's quite normal.
Yes.
Like
Wow.
I watch all those Dota, those individuals voice over Dota characters.
You know Dota?
Lines.
Is it a game?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, they really have really great
You watch the
voice line.
camera. Watch the camera.
What's
Because
that?
your arm is gonna hit the
Oh,
handle.
Don't worry, it won't hit, bro. I know
It's
some-
just like it won't
like the
fall,
Milo,
it
the
won't
Milo.
fall.
It's
Exactly what I was gonna say. That's literally what I was gonna say.
Don't worry, I am very conscious about
Great
my surroundings,
mind.
bro.
Okay.
Indeed. Indeed.
Relax.
Wait, you were saying Dota.
Like, if you have you ever seen? I don't think she have seen this, but they really can change their voice to become like. One moment is a girl, next moment is a zombie, then next moment she's a damn king and stuff like that.
I know it's normal.
Can you do that?
I mean, to a certain
think-
extent, some voices, right?
Some. I
Yeah.
mean, I can change my voice to either older or younger or
Yeah.
in between. But there are a lot much more talented voiceover
Talents.
artists.
Actually,
out there.
my girlfriend Jen is a huge fan of voiceover artists. Like she can spend
Oh.
hours on YouTube
Right.
just watching like. Okay, so I didn't know that you did animation and all that.
Okay.
Because she was like, oh my god, what voiceover does she do? Then I'm like, mostly ads. I said, oh. Does she do animation? I'm like, I don't know, lah, Yang.
She's
Like,
Anissa.
I don't know, lah, Yang. I don't know all the answers to all these questions.
Anissa. Hello.
Right. So,
If you want to see some of the work that I've done, I have a YouTube channel, but it's not something that no, it's not like a whole lot of subscribers or anything, but it's just for
Your
a
portfolio.
platform for my portfolio. So if you look up Adila Shakir, and then you go to
how do you spell that?
John is good.
Dillly.
Dillly. Oh, Dali Shakir.
Dili.
Oh, Dili.
Dili. That was my
Dillly.
nickname in college, and then Shakir, and then you.
This one?
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
So now you have a new subscriber.
Yeah, so go to playlists,
And you can listen to everything.
and then I've already I put in
cool.
everything.
Sweet. all your ads are here as well.
My ad, well, not all. but-
Legoland also what you do.
Yeah.
Legoland BM.
Do you have
Is your
Upin
Shopee
Ipin?
ad
Is your Shopee ad?
No.
There's a Shopee ad
There's
there.
a Shopee ad in here.
Got Ajinomoto also. Eh?
Maybe not
Bro.
because
MSG.
I don't think so.
You know what's
Oh yeah,
funny?
no, it is. It is.
Nice.
The Shopee ad?
Introducing Flappy Shoppy. a
Is it like
game
Flappy
that will
Bird?
surely
Oh
get
my
you
god.
hooked. Just get through the game without slamming onto the pipes and stand a chance to win amazing prizes. Not
Oh.
flying through the game yet? Flap and win now.
That's you.
That's moi.
So
Yeah.
some of the Shopee games.
Freedom of expression means
How much did Shopee pay?
Oh, that's the one that we're talking about, the freedom of expression.
Yes, yes.
This is the freedom of expression,
Yeah, the
Yeah.
freedom of speech thing, and then I said there's an act.
which we are not allowed to do.
I
What?
don't know. It's a contradicting thing. Yeah.
What?
Can do freedom of speech, but we cannot do freedom of speech.
That is usually the case here, though. It's like a grey area in Malaysia all the time. Right.
Very great.
Just one day
Very
everything
great.
go to jail because something I say in Facebook, man.
I mean, I think it's just.
It's also inherent within us because we're so used to this. We do self censorship.
You think
You
so?
know,
Yeah.
I think I still have that self censorship.
You self censor.
I mean, as in like, I don't think I should talk about this.
Oh.
You know, I'm like, better.
I don't have self-censorship.
Good for you.
I'm saying
Don't
stuff.
know if that's good for you.
I don't know whether it's good. I am saying stuff I am not supposed to say.
Oh
No, there's
my
one time, you know
God.
what? Let me just don't go there. It's continue. It's a sad story.
Why? I want to hear it.
It's the cancer one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah. No.
Not everyone knows.
Thinks so.
I'm the only guy who thinks it's fucking hilarious. But we'll tell you after the show, lah. Because we've said it a lot of times inside
Yeah,
the podcast
but-
already. Yeah.
So sad.
So after that, it's just been voice acting all the way until today?
It's just been voice acting, and I am grateful that I've been able to do this for the past 7 years full time. I mean, to be honest, I started 16 years ago, but that was like
Here and there,
part time here and
part-time.
But
there
now
while
it's
I was
full.
Now it's just full time doing voiceover work.
I think it's very difficult, right, for a lot of people to do their full-time job
Right.
and do something they like. Because it's something I put a lot of emphasis on. Because
I tried that before, yeah.
It's really tough,
I ended
man.
up going to the one that I liked.
Yeah, yeah.
And then that became, oh no, I don't have a plan B. So all this while I was like, okay, I need a plan B. Here's my full-time job, and then this is the thing that I
Yeah,
like.
yeah,
That's my
yeah.
plan B. And then when your plan B becomes your plan A, and you don't have a plan B, you're like,
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good thing.
that was for me anyway.
Do you still feel that fear?
No,
No. What? So
No.
your plan A is like solid, man.
because I also have this strong belief that there's some things that we cannot control. Just whatever we can control, we put in as much effort that we can into it. Which was for me, it was saving up for it,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
trying to update my profile, or make sure that when I
Yeah.
do have a job with a client, that
do the best.
I do the best that I can, try to make the best experience so that they can hopefully call back or whatever, and maybe do a website, whatever. I want to do that, but I haven't started it.
Squarespace.
Someone suggested
Wix.
Squarespace.
Or Wix,
I
yeah,
can't-
Wix.
I like Squarespace better. I watched a whole video like Squarespace versus Wix, but then I'm more into Squarespace. But when I wanted to pay for it, I don't know why they didn't take my.
Huh?
Yeah, they wouldn't.
Try again, lah.
I did. So maybe
Still
I'll just try the different
Different payment method lah, I guess.
payment method or website. But anyway, so
It's just a lot of self-responsibility because it's your own thing.
yes, and
Yeah.
also so that's one part of it where you have to be responsible and take control of what you can control. The rest of it, you kind of leave it up, let it go, let God.
Yeah.
So that gives me peace of mind.
Speaking of which, right, do you think it's very difficult to maintain
Well,
I don't know whether the right word is
Your
health
your
or
voice,
like
is it?
yeah, your voice. Are there things that you have to like practice, or you have to do humming long hums every day? I don't know.
I don't do that.
It's natural talent, bro.
Scotch and Marshall.
I don't even bother.
Oh, is it?
Unless, I mean, last time when I used to do more jingles, while I'm in the car on the way to the
Oh, you would sing it
studio,
lah,
then
you
I
sing
would be
along.
like, la 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 la.
Oh, serious
la,
ah?
la, 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 la,
What your
la.
husband will say, oh lah, diam.
Oh, that time nak kahwin lagi. Belum jumpa lagi pun.
Okay.
You know, but I used to do that. But I think it was yesterday, you know, Friday, I was at the studio and I already told myself like I should not have this coffee with milk. I should not before the recording
Why?
because it creates more phlegm.
Oh.
And sure enough, when I was
Yeah.
in the studio, in the booth, I was like, you know, I had to clear. Someone had to say HD voice.
HD
Oh.
voice.
HD voice, you know. So I was clearing
What
my,
is
I had
a
to clear
HD
my.
voice?
It will come out. You will see.
Because the phlegm somehow interrupts your.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
You know,
HD voice.
it's not
Wow.
smooth. It's not clean. It's not clear. So you have to clear your voice. So and you always have to stand by with water. So I always bring my own water actually, but I don't do anything special. I just
pro,
make sure.
bro. She's pro.
No, I've seen like news readers and all that. They go like, how
Yeah,
do
that one,
That's
how
just
they haven't.
Anchorman does how now brown cow.
That one,
How now brown
They
cow.
haven't achieved enlightenment. She has achieved it. She's there. All these new.
So there's no like exercises. There's no.
I mean, there are existing exercises,
don't practice,
but I
you don't
just
need
don't
lah.
practice.
Just no coffee before your voiceovers.
No coffee with milk, especially.
I see.
I always stand by
The water.
warm water.
How about air limau?
Animal
It's
helps
good clear
honey,
the-
honey,
honey,
yes.
honey.
Huh.
But yeah, I mean, I know these things, but I don't put them into practice.
I never
noticed.
noticed these things until I'm editing the video. Like,
Right.
you know, because I usually smoke during the podcast. So I smoke,
Oh.
right? But of course I ask permission lah, if the guest is okay with it, right?
But I have to say, your room doesn't even smell.
No, it's because I smoke the e-cigarette
E
thing.
something.
Yeah, so it doesn't really affect.
Oh, e-cigarette.
No, but I don't want to, like, so I
Okay,
don't do it
okay.
anyway. But I do it when, like, the guest is okay with it.
Yeah, okay.
Then after editing, right, I'm like, oh my god, man, my voice, right, can really hear the difference, man.
Hmm.
Because the podcast can last like 2 to 3 hours. We've done
Yeah.
like 3-hour shows before.
Right.
And then at the third hour, dude, my voice is just so bad already. It's like squeaky or phlegm, and I'm like, wow, it's damn bad already.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can sort of hear the difference,
Yeah.
and that's after like trying to make the voice better, like with deeper basses. Doesn't work, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does. That's why I was wondering also. Like, do you have things? And you know when you do, I do yoga. So at the end of the yoga class, right, they ask you to do like,
Oh, okay.
then you do as long as you can because your voice never really goes a long duration of.
Oh, that's true.
You know when you.
So you don't exercise it. So when you don't
Right.
do that.
That's true.
Your pacing and your breaths don't tally sometimes when you speak.
Yeah.
So that's why I was wondering
John,
if you did anything.
Did you know if you say that thing, you say oh, your teeth vibrate.
Your teeth vibrate.
Yeah. Say oh.
Yeah. I did.
You saw that? Oh,
Yeah, wait, it does.
your teeth vibrate, bro.
Wow.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, it's
Dude,
weird.
try. Your teeth vibrates. Vibrate, right?
It does vibrate a little bit.
Jok.
I didn't know that.
When
shit.
you do then your lips are vibrating. It's ticklish.
Yeah.
But yeah.
So I was just curious because like I know there are a lot of voice actors who also smoke, and then when they smoke cigarettes, it hangus, man. I know because I did a few Volkswagen ads before with this
Right.
guy, and this guy was like, "Oh, I'm going for a cigarette," and then after that you're like, "Wow, I can hear the phlegm and everything."
I did Volkswagen ads as well.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, that's a
Like
while
everyone's
ago.
doing Volkswagen ads.
No, it's because they had this like period of time. Was it in 2012, 2013 you were doing it?
Yeah, around there.
Right?
Yeah.
Because that time they poured a lot of budget into Malaysia. They poured a lot of budget because of the gearbox issue, so they were trying to win back the fans.
Yes.
Oh.
So they're pouring a lot of money into the Jetta and shit like that lah. I don't
So
know.
now we're really okay then. Only.
That's fine lah.
I think people change car already by now since 2013.
Have you seen the Arteon? Volkswagen Arteon.
It's a good car.
Like into the car. We should have our own conversation.
should have our own conversation.
Yeah, that car is really.
You know, every time we have a conversation about cars, they was like,
Yeah.
John, you're pussy, like you don't like cars.
Oh my God, that good. That's my
I don't understand it. For me, a car is just pointing
It's
to
like
point
it's fucking
B.
yellow, so I like it, you know, bro.
Right? It
Yeah,
just gets
yeah,
from point
yeah.
A to
Any
point B.
color.
Yeah.
Just make sure you send it for service.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
know,
Clean the
and
car.
Find a
Only,
trusted
man.
mechanic. And
Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
yeah.
That's it. But it's because our background, our grandma was married to a man he's my grandfather lah, but he passed away, and he used to own a car mechanic shop. So it's like the car thing is a very strong thing in the family.
Really?
Yeah, like if like mommy, you know, they all love they know it's like you can't call me. You know, one time right, my tire right kena, you know, I don't know what the fuck was wrong with my tire lah, but I go and send. Then the guy said must change. Then I'm like, it's changed lah. Then he told me 500. I'm like, what the fuck, 500? I'm like, it's okay lah, I'll pay lah. So I just changed the tire, right? Dude, my aunt and my uncle, right, were livid, man. They were like, how can you do that to your tire? Whatever, you don't even know. You see this tire, right? This one is a patch up job only. It's 2 ringgit only. Then they go back there, right, to the car manager. You try to con out, fucking whatever. Then one way they fight it out. They say, oh, I already sold the tire. I sold the tire. Then I'm like, I'm just standing there like, what's the big deal, man? I just had to change my tire, right? But they're like, yeah, but they con you, you know, that tire is okay one, you know, it's good to go. You know,
Aiyo.
yeah, man. So I'm just like,
So now, whenever you need to go and
yeah, I
check
just
on
like,
your
hey,
car,
can you please just? I don't want to go in the middle of all that. Yeah,
Bias.
yeah.
you guys can have a conversation with Rafiq about cars.
Oh, he also likes cars. Ah?
Well, he drives a rotary
I don't know. What's going on.
engine.
Oh, you mean
The
manual?
Mazda.
Mazda Rotary.
Oh, Mazda Road.
I don't know what that
He
is.
really loves. I bet he take care of the car every week. Saturday he wash it himself. Right? No?
I mean, he takes care of the car pretty well.
Very
You know,
well.
it's lasted for like what? I think more than 12 years already.
What the
So
hell?
like, bila you masuk, Dilly,
No,
I
no.
say already, no coffee in my car.
No, but he's not like that. Thank God.
No?
He's not like that. You know.
Because my
Definitely.
girlfriend, every time comes to the car and she leaves me a present at the side, tissue paper and rubbish, and I hate that shit, bro. This one time, she spilled M&Ms in my car, you know. Okay, fine. Alright? Then she never pick it up. Okay, fine. So I picked it up. The next day there was cockroach. And then
Okay.
she scolded me because my car got cockroach. I'm like, woman, you left the packet there. You spilled the damn M&M. And then you scold me. And then
No, I'll be quite pissed lah.
And then I never fetch her after that. We never go out. True story. You got to put the point down there, you know. Anyways, back to the car, like, you know, I take my car really serious. Cockroach, bro! Cockroach! M&M!
Honestly, if there's a cockroach in my car, there is an 80% chance I will be in an accident. I will be fucking scared.
I'll just park my car, get out of the car, and just wait there.
Yeah, and then I'll problem solve as I'm outside the car.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll like maybe light it on fire. I don't know.
I will just take something and then I just slam the
Cockroach
cockroach.
is nothing. My friend had a snake in his car. And then
That's
from
fucked
then on, he was nicknamed Snake. It caused a jam in PJ.
How did he had a
Because he ran out of, he's fearful of snakes and he ran out of the car. He just like, what am I gonna do? I'm supposed to go to work.
snake in the car?
But it was a small snake lah, a grass snake lah.
Imagine.
I'm guessing so, but yeah, I
your
have to
boss-
find out the story again from him.
Damn.
Hey, where are you? Boss, there's a snake in my car.
He's like, I understand, bro. Stay where you are, bro.
I think the boss laughed. I'm not sure.
Oh, I wouldn't know what to do also, man.
Yeah, I think he just waited. He just kind of like waited
How
for
to run
that
away?
thing to
How to
come
get the
out.
fuck out of the car,
Call
bro?
bomber or something, lah, bro. I don't know, man.
Bro.
Yeah.
Animal saver, bro. SWAT team.
It's weird, you know, like because we all are like so detached from wildlife.
Yeah.
We're so detached. But then the moment there's a little insect, you're like, oh my god, I can't deal with this shit right now. Right? I was taking a shower, right?
And then
Just
what?
a couple of days ago, no, not even like last week. So there was a water disruption. So I
Right.
kept the water in
Another
the big
one.
tong. I kept the water in the big tong. So I was like mandi with the tong.
And you found a beetle swimming on
No,
it.
no. Okay, so everybody
Oh, I remember
has
it.
hair that falls off, right?
the-
So the hair
Okay,
gets caught in the drain,
right.
right?
Uh-huh.
So I was doing the tong and I was like point. Then I felt right like there was hair in between my toes, so I just ignored.
Relax.
Okay.
Relax.
I was like just continue because you mandi, you close your eyes, right? So you mandi. Then I like how this hair can move up my knee? Oh my god! And it was above my knee, you know.
Getting
Dude,
near to the
I'm
couch
completely
area.
naked, right? And it's going towards my dick, right? Then I opened my eyes, right? It was a fucking centipede, you know. It's like my pinky, you know, the thickness. I'm like, oh my I yelled, right? I just took the water, then I ran out of the toilet, you know, because I have a partition, so I came out.
Murder.
I'm like, oh my fucking god, I nearly died, I nearly went into my asshole, my dick, I don't know, man. It was so paranoid, you know. So I sprayed it into the drain, okay, I killed it with water, you know. I came downstairs, right, I'm like, oh my god, man. She was like, why, you caught another Pokemon? I'm like, what the fuck? She's like, oh, I thought you screamed because you caught a very rare Pokemon. I'm like,
She is not gonna take you seriously when there's a burglar upstairs.
it was a black and yellow centipede.
Oh my god!
That kind of things get you killed, bro. Black and
100%.
yellow.
100%.
Right, thank god it didn't.
Bite or sting
Yeah,
or
man.
whatever the fuck it
I
does.
don't know,
Right.
the worst I had,
Thing.
the worst I had in my bathroom was a cockroach. And then I'm like,
Yeah.
hey. Then he went inside. Then I take the powder, you know, the breeze. I pour down.
Oh my god.
Bye!
That's extreme.
You never know he had babies, bro.
You know when there's a horror movie, then like they kill the guy and then you thought you killed the guy and then the guy didn't die.
Oh.
You always gotta confirm the kill.
Yeah, I gotta confirm the kill.
Confirm
Ah, yeah.
But if
Confirm
anything,
the
if I
kill.
see a moth in my toilet, I'll run away. Because moth is just some fucking scary shit.
Moth
Is
true.
damn fucking
Yeah, I
scary.
bought moth is devil's pet.
Wait, we're gonna pause.
huge moths like
You know what?
this size.
Yeah. And not only that, you know when you go to a parking lot in Genting, right? You know how they have like A1, A2, A3?
Yeah.
Bro.
The one
I was driving, right? And I was like A4, A3, A2. Then I'm like, why brown color? Bro, the whole pillar, right?
Yeah.
All moths, you know, all
Oh
like
my god.
I was in my car. Right?
I'm out.
You know Genting when you open the window cause it's cold, right?
The saga.
Yeah, it was my Saga, you know.
Oh, no wonder. It's like, what kind of car are you
Yeah.
driving that
Yeah, it's my old car.
Oh, moth
Wow.
is just.
Yeah,
Oh.
massive some more. They're not even
Wow.
small fullets.
Yeah,
Small fullets
yeah,
I don't
I
mind,
see.
right? Yeah,
I
maybe
see.
whatever.
Genting,
This one
man.
is like the wings, right, bigger than my face, dude.
yeah.
That's
But I'm terrified of butterflies. It's
bird, bro.
Oh,
That's
my-
a fucking
my cousin's
aerodactyl,
terrified
bro.
of butterflies. Because she says like I'm terrified of butterflies because I don't like caterpillars, and caterpillars,
Continue.
right? They turn into butterflies, and so
True.
because I know where they came from, I know what they look like before.
I'm actually fine with caterpillars.
You know what? He's afraid of butterflies.
I'm terrified of butterflies
There's a
for
story.
a whole new fucking reason.
Yeah, bro.
I was running with my friend Sean when I was 6. Okay, and I was like running with him. I was like, I'll race you to the bus. And Sean was like, sure, man. Then we all run. And I beat him by a good stretch. And I was laughing. I'm like, yeah, Sean. Then the butterfly was in my mouth. I'm like, and I'm on the ground, right? As a 6-year-old fat kid, right? I'm like, the butterfly comes out. It's all like slimy and shit. And then there was powder all over my mouth. And until today, right, I'm terrified. You know when I'm driving my car and I see a butterfly outside,
But they're super fast. They like come and go. Like,
Wow.
right? It's like
and it's unpredictable. Yeah. That's the fucked up thing, man.
Directionally.
You can see, I know where you're going at, son. But butterfly's like, you coming, dude?
yeah, fucking fast, dude.
Yeah.
Wait,
Trauma, you've been traumatized.
Yeah, I cannot.
Let me introduce you to someone who can remove that trauma.
No.
Is she gonna put me in a butterfly?
Butterfly is
No, no. I had a balloon phobia.
Oh.
So he managed to help remove my balloon phobia. So imagine when kids come in balloons and you're stuck in a lift, like,
Oh.
you know what I mean? So that was my balloon phobia. Because I'm like, when is it gonna pop? Is it gonna pop? You know? So, yeah.
Oh, the guy can remove your fear.
How to remove fear? But you know why? Instilling a new fear.
You sit down on the chair, then he take a needle. He's
Oh my god.
fuck your balloon.
So you forget about that fear, you get a new fear.
But how did he do it? Is it hypnotization?
No. But it's, he managed to tap into
Genjutsu.
why I had it in the first place. He said that I can see you, like you're alone, you're very, very young, you're alone. And he could picture the red balloon that I was picturing.
Was I it?
And then,
It was in my mind. It was the eat balloon, right?
and it popped. I was alone, didn't have support, probably cried at the time. And then that trauma had remained until, because I don't have any real reason to be afraid of it, right? So he, there's something called EFT, which is emotional freedom technique, where you tap away negative energy, and then you can actually replace it with positive energy as well. So yeah.
I find it so hard to believe that I can remove my butterfly fear.
I mean,
Well, you have to sit with him, and then you have to recall that moment, and then he will latch onto that energy that you have, that fear that you
I might
have.
yell, man.
Whatever, as long as you have that emotion, and then you and him will go through the whole process of tapping.
Is this here in Malaysia?
Yeah. Very nice man. His name is Isaac. He's like a father
What's your
figure,
fear?
grandfather.
My
Very
fear?
very nice man. I
I
shall
feel
give
a
you
lot
his
of things,
number. Yeah.
He should come on a podcast. I think it'd be so
Scared of-
fascinating.
I'm sure you have a very
cockroaches,
interesting conversation
rats,
with him.
right,
Yeah, you know.
Bees,
Interesting.
Yes, I.
grasshoppers, fucking
Yeah,
everything.
grasshoppers are
Let me just tell you,
terrifying.
the big grasshopper.
Yeah,
Is
I don't like
very
grasshopper.
scary.
I don't like praying mantises. as
Praying
well.
mantis can cut your hand, bro. Watch out.
I'm scared of like tons of things.
I've
Be
seen-
faster to say what I'm not scared of.
I see a praying mantis eat a bird before, bro.
Yeah, I've seen a praying mantis eat a hummingbird.
Yeah. You tell me that small green shit ate a bird, bro. Kesian that fella thought he can just chill at the tree.
Yeah.
Then
Yeah.
he
No, it's because it's like the arms are like
Yeah.
foldable. So because of that mechanism and it's really
Yeah.
strong, so the bird was getting water, right? The hummingbird.
Yeah.
And it just went like clap.
God.
And then it was a hummingbird, so the bird's thing was like going through his neck. He just
Oh my
But
god.
I think grasshopper is way more scary. The big one looks really nasty, bro.
But people eat that, you know.
Eat grasshopper?
yeah, I've eaten
God.
grasshopper.
Yeah, nah.
I remember
No lah,
as
but
a
it's
kid,
small one.
Terengganu.
it's like 6 in the morning.
Yeah, here in Malaysia.
I'm going up the
I
stairs
remember
to go
watching
shower.
Trengganu?
I'm going up the stairs. I'm
If I'm
fucking
not
tired lah,
mistaken,
right? I'm
it's
half awake, right?
Terengganu.
I go up the stairs, I
If
see a
I'm not
grasshopper.
mistaken, but it was
But
in
I jump
Malaysia.
backwards,
Yeah, they
right,
fry
from the
it.
stairs, right? From top to bottom.
You ate ah?
No, I was I watched
And I landed on my feet
a
steady.
documentary.
Oh.
TV3 Majalah
Pure instinct. I walk up the stairs, right?
Documentary. So
It's like coming already. It's driving on his way.
he says, yeah,
Insane, insane.
he's
And then
nearby.
I was
So,
like,
we
we
can
can
wrap
wrap
up.
up.
Okay.
We can wrap up.
That don't know what happened already. This is many years
They
ago.
were having a completely separate conversation.
I know, right?
But that's the beauty of the podcast. I feel like it's kind of natural in that sense.
I mean, is that why people like listening to your show?
I hope so.
Be serious.
I hope so. But I think they
Stinks.
like the show
Stinks.
because
I
they
didn't
have
even do it, my
interesting
body did
characters
it.
that come on.
Right. Well, I hope I'm an interesting character.
It was
right?
not Drew, bro.
I can totally just mute out this entire
Correct.
part as well.
Full form.
Can
Yeah.
you?
Because Chow has recorded four different voices.
No, because
Yeah.
Drew was telling how he saw a grasshopper when he was young.
Okay.
And because he's so afraid of, and it's the big ass grasshopper, not those small shit, you know.
Right.
And then how not he, but he jumped backwards to avoid the grasshopper.
Okay, so context, right? I'm walking up the stairs, 6 in the morning. I'm like half awake. I'm very young. So I go up the stairs. I'm up the full flight of stairs. I'm half awake, so I'm like seeing half things, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And I see a big ass grasshopper in front of me. My body leapt backwards from the top of the staircase all the way down.
Oh my god.
And then I landed perfectly
And
fine.
he still landed.
Wow.
Yeah. And I didn't even do it. It's just pure instinct. I just saw it, I reacted, I did it. I'm like, fuck.
Is this in 24?
No, this one is in 53.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Huh?
Fucking crazy. I don't even
Oh
fucking
my
know,
God.
dude. I don't even know.
Fear.
If you ask me to replicate it again, I'll break my neck.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
Apparently,
Fear
you
drives
put a
you.
grasshopper there, you'll be
It's crazy. Yeah, probably. Yeah.
Put a grasshopper there, Drew can go up to
Yeah,
water.
but fuck.
Hey man.
Maybe that's
Scary.
his superpower. He's
Superpower.
grasshopper man.
Fuck, man. I am who I hate.
Anyway, we gotta wrap it up, right? I think
Yes.
Rafi's on his way.
Yeah.
I normally wrap it up with like, what's your best advice you want to give to people who want to pursue voice acting? I mean, we gotta make it quick, unfortunately, but
Just do it.
Do a lot of reading, obviously, but I mean, be observant when you listen to animation or the cartoons or other
Oh.
ads. I mean, that's what I was doing when I was young. I just didn't realize it, because I was trying to emulate what I heard.
Yeah.
So if you can do that, you can replicate that, you can practice that. And if you have variety, then that means you can do more work, more jobs. But it's not easy to get into it.
Yep.
It's not just about talent. It's also about, clients are also looking for someone who is efficient, who can do a few takes, not like 20 takes of the same thing, and they still don't have what they want. Your sample might sound nice. You might sound like you have a good voice, but people don't know how many takes did it take for you to have that one
Perfection.
good, perfect
Yeah,
sample.
yeah.
Because I've heard stories about clients having had that experience where the sample sounded great, and then when that person came in, like, oh my god, 20 to 50 takes, that kind
it's
of
a lot of
thing.
time.
It's
That's
a
why
lot
I
of
actually
time.
like budgeted 4 hours.
I was like, why?
I was terrified because my previous ones that I did was like that.
Really?
It took so long, half day for one talent.
But you didn't get a voice skill talent, right?
No.
Ah.
It was a different voice actor sourced from a colleague of mine. I didn't know where they got the voice actor.
Anyone from voice skill, you should be
More or less the standard is there.
Yeah, that's the standard because I mean I always give myself an hour.
Oh.
An hour for everything, to do the read and then to have it quickly
Minor
edit
changes.
any minor changes, approval within 1 hour.
That was beautiful. That was fucking beautiful. I appreciated. Because when we went to the studio, I was waiting in the car because it was raining. I waited in the car for like 25 minutes. It was done in less than 25 minutes. I waited in the car 25 minutes. I go inside, Kao Tim in 15 minutes. Then I'm like, oh, okay. Then she's like, you want coffee? I'm like,
Yeah. Ain't gonna say no.
Yeah.
It was. I was really like pleased because the previous one, oh my god, 8 hours. I'm like waiting there, like oh.
You.
Yeah. So I was paranoid because I did like 2 or 3
Wow.
times already before this for Volkswagen. Yeah, man. You know Wing Kyong, he was a previous guest.
Yeah.
He was listening to a voiceover artist for like 3 days.
What?
Yeah, it's like different voice artists coming. He's like,
Right.
this.
Oh.
Yeah. he
Why?
was- I don't know. He just told me that I was having a cigarette with him. Then he told me that. I'm like, 72 hours is a long time. Bro.
Was it audition or what?
I don't know. I didn't know the full context
Okay,
of it, but I
okay,
just it was just conversation.
Right.
But yeah, thank
But
you for
yeah.
coming.
Thanks
today.
for being here.
Thanks
I had a good
for-
time.
I had a
True
great
joy.
I had a good time.
Is it like a remnants of Red FM all over again?
Yeah, it feels like it.
Yeah, I would say welcome back home.
No music, no ads though. No, like okay, we'll come back right after this ad.
We have an
Okay,
ad in the
that.
beginning.
Yeah.
We usually have an ad in the beginning.
Right.
But now we don't have any ads because there's nobody.
But soon.
But it's only like 50 ringgit an ad. So if you want to do an ad on our show, normally you just pay 50 ringgit and I'll do an
Yeah.
ad read.
Oh, I see.
Like 30 seconds.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. But other than that, we don't really have ads now because no client.
But maybe
They're like that, no ads
So
no?
fun.
Maybank you can.
But thanks for coming on
Yeah,
today.
thanks for I had a great
Thanks
time.
for having me. I had a great
Yeah.
time too.
I'll put your YouTube link. Is that okay? Your YouTube
sure.
link in the description.
Yeah.
Is there anything else?
Because
Your
she
portfolio?
no Instagram, no Facebook, so
I
it's
don't
just
have
YouTube
Instagram.
lah.
I don't have.
Maybe your
Facebook.
Voice Guild. Your link. Your Voice Guild link. Maybe no.
No.
Don't do it.
No.
Okay. I won't do
Okay.
that.
YouTube it is.
YouTube it is.
YouTube it is.
All right.
Thanks.
Oh,
All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
All right.